I often expect too much of you.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Yes, Eddie is back. Say hi, Eddie.
Hey, guys.
Good
Ladies.
to hear from you. And as is tradition now on Tuesdays, joining us on the live stream, on the radio show, the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how are you today, sir?
Great to be with you, Joey. I'm fine. How are you, my dear friend?
I'm doing quite well. I'm in the middle of a big move, though, so I'm enjoying wearing sweatshirts every day.
Hey, moves are terrible. I'm sure you'll be happy when it's over.
I'm actually throwing a lot of stuff out. So it's not too bad, but I will be happy to be in my new situation here before too long. I want to start today by first saying I really appreciated your op-ed from last week laying out, the horrors begun by the Bush administration, the second, George W. Bush. And I say that because I knew the history, but from your approach, I could feel your passion coming out in between the facts you're laying down. I was a young man then, I was barely paying attention to much of anything with politics. So, when we look back on those Bush years, especially the wars started by Bush and team, are we still feeling those effects today?
We are still feeling those effects today. When George W. decided to divert everybody's attention from how did 9/11 happen on his watch to who are we going to strike back at for what happened, and instead of striking back at the Saudis, with which his family has had a long and friendly relationship, the Saudis who paid for it, organized it, and did it, he persuaded the Congress and the public and our allies, most of them, to support his striking out at Afghanistan. Well, he couldn't get a declaration of war in Afghanistan because the Afghan government didn't do this. So he got some monstrosity, a novel thing unheard of under the Constitution called the AUMF, the Authorization to Use Military Force. And it allowed him to kill anybody he wanted without naming a target or a goal or an end date or an end game or an ending event, so long as he believed that person somehow, through any circuitous route he could name or chose not to name, facilitated 9/11. This resulted in the invasion of Afghanistan and the 20-year occupation. We're all familiar with that disaster.
Oh, yeah.
This resulted in the invasion of Iraq. We're all familiar with that disaster. Did they ever find those weapons of mass destruction? Of course they didn't, because they didn't exist. Now, fast forward to today. Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden have all three of them have used that AUMF, that authorization to use military force, to justify killing people in the Middle East, even though some of the people they've killed were babies on 9/11. And it's inconceivable that they had anything to do with planning or supporting it. So I wrote the piece in order to highlight how dangerous it is to put a loaded gun in the government's hand and let him keep it in the president's hand, speaking metaphorically, of course, and letting him keep it in his desk in the White House and shoot it at anybody he wants. That's basically what we have done. In Joe Biden's case, this has resulted in $100 billion to Ukraine in a losing effort. As we speak, President Zelensky is in Washington, tin cup in hand, begging for more money. There's nothing to give money to. The government is collapsing. The military's in a stalemate. 500,000 young Ukrainian men are dead or so seriously injured that they can't expect a normal life and certainly can't go back to joining the military. Last weekend, while we slept, the Secretary of State of the United States signed a piece of paper under oath, swearing that there was a national emergency that affected the national security of the United States, and therefore the government had to get $100 million in bombs and artillery shells into somebody's hands. Did you know about this national emergency?
No, I didn't. They didn't tell me.
Israel. That's a national emergency for the United States. That affects our national security such that the government is bypassing the Congress and bypassing the Constitution. This is what George W. Bush brought us.
Well, and that wasn't it, because we're now seeing the Congress wrestle with another legacy of that era, this argument over FISA and 702 spying. Apparently the latest news is that the showdown, he was going to have like Queen of the Hill, as they call it, a fight between the Judiciary Committee's reform to FISA, so-called reform, or the Intelligence Committee's reform to FISA. That's now not happening. They've pulled that off the floor. But, I mean, when you see these guys go back and forth, in particular that intelligence community reform, I'm doing air quotes, folks out there just listening, all it did was codify all the abuses.
Joey, it's terrible. I usually don't write articles about people. I usually write them about ideas, but I felt compelled last week to write one called, Hey, Mike Johnson, that's the Constitution you're trashing. Mike Johnson, for most people don't know, you've never heard of him, is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, second in line to the presidency after the vice president, plucked from obscurity by conservative and libertarian Republicans who believed he would be the same Mike Johnson as he was when he was simple Congressman Mike Johnson. Since then, under his leadership, the House of Representatives have enacted legislation keeping spending levels at the same level as they were when Mrs. Pelosi was Speaker. Since then, he is going to extend Section 702, which suspends the Fourth Amendment for a class of Americans, those who communicate with foreign persons. He's going to bury that extension into the National Defense Authorization Act, which funds the Pentagon. So nobody can vote against it. They're not going to vote against funding the Pentagon because of this thing. This thing has nothing to do, of course, with funding the Pentagon. This is the exact opposite of Mike Johnson when he was simple Congressman Mike Johnson. It was against 702, the section that allows the suspension of the Fourth Amendment, and against burying things like that in legislation, in must-have legislation. So the whole thing is a fraud. I'm waiting for Matt Gaetz to declare the Speaker's chair empty again, because this is Kevin McCarthy with a Southern face. That's the only difference.
And it's a real shame. But, I mean, Judge, I'm seeing here reporting from Jennifer Griffin of Fox that 46 top national security officials have signed a letter urging Congress to reauthorize FISA 702. It's needed to fight terrorism, fentanyl traffickers, and cyber attacks. Quote, "We cannot hamstring the U.S. intelligence community. Section 702 saves American lives." Don't you want to save lives, sir?
I want to save the Constitution. So Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, whom Donald Trump has said to me several times he regrets not firing. Whatever, another story for another time. Got in an argument with Senator Mike Lee, who used to clerk for Justice Alito, and who is the constitutional scholar in the Senate. And Chris Wray said, it's too cumbersome to follow the Fourth Amendment. Oh, it is, Mr. Wray? Then you're in the wrong job, pal, because you took an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Fourth Amendment, whether it's cumbersome or not. That's my answer to Jennifer Griffin's reporting. I'm not angry at Jennifer. She's reporting what these people, my dear friend, by the way, she's reporting at what these people said. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. Ask them if they even believe in the Fourth Amendment. Ask them, how can Congress, which is a creature of the Constitution, created by the Constitution, possibly exempt a class of human beings from the Constitution's protections without a constitutional amendment? Answer, it can't. Joey, is anybody talking about this but you and me?
Not enough, folks. We're seeing more and more voices on the right. We got to give credit. I know you know Jack Posobiec, and there are a few others that are finally, usually younger folks, putting this out here, but not enough, and certainly not enough within the halls of Congress. It's just an absolute crying shame, and it's always across the board. And then you'll get, what makes me nauseous is the last time we saw 46 experts, they're saying the whole Hunter Biden laptop, whatever you think of the Bidens, the laptop was real. They lied about that straight up. And they constantly go to the expert class. Another thing that drives me nuts is everything you know, more than me, everything I know, I'll see somebody like a Liz Cheney on a Sunday talk show saying, hey, I'm doing this working with Democrats and Pelosi and Adam Schiff because I believe in the Constitution. And it's almost like this prop they trot out, but they're completely unfaithful to when they're actually in the background.
Yeah. You know, there is no Republican or Democrat on this. There are progressives on the left, like Senator Ron Wyden, who is against 702. There are libertarians on the right, like Congressman Thomas Massey and Senators Rand Paul and Mike Lee, who are against the extension of 702. But the vast majority in Congress, it's the same crowd, Joey, over and over and over again. Tax any event, regulate any behavior, write any law, big government, big war, big emergency state, big welfare state, big deep state, over and over and over again.
It's just
the loss of liberty doesn't come overnight. It comes slowly by people who claim to be well-meaning. These people are not tyrants. They claim to be well-being. They go home to their families at night. They probably vote Republican. They don't even realize how insidious and sinister their behavior is as they cut little tiny holes in the Fourth Amendment every day.
It's a crying shame, and there are, I'm sure on the, say, military side, there are way too many people who watched A Few Good Men and thought Jack Nicholson's the good guy in this, number one. And we continue to see folks, your favorite movie, you pointed me to it. I think there are a lot of people who would tell you behind the scenes, like, say, Cardinal Wolsey told Thomas More, why must you look at the world through that moral squint of yours? Just get practical here. Let's get to the, we don't want people to die. And it seems necessity is excusing all sorts of sins, sadly.
More to his son-in-law, I would give the devil due process. Son-in-law to Moore. You would? I would cut down every law in England to get to the devil. More to the son-in-law. And with all the laws cut down, who would protect you from the wind that then would blow? No answer.
Well, and one thing I want to end on here is what's going on with the Supreme Court, that they've granted Jack Smith's request for an expedited consideration. I believe the Trump team has until Christmas.
Okay, they have granted Jack Smith's request to consider an expedited consideration. So they said, okay, the government wants it expedited. President Trump, your lawyers have until the 20th to answer. Then we'll decide if we're going to expedite it. If we're not going to expedite it, it goes back to the appellate court or gets to the end of the line. If we're going to expedite it, you'll have an answer right after New Year's. No question what they're going to do. The U.S. v. Nixon cases, there's 4 of them, make it very clear that the president has no immunity from prosecution once he leaves office.
Right. And
knowing the Chief Justice as I do, he's going to want this to be unanimous so that there's no political patina on it. And, Trump can still make whatever arguments he wants before the jury, but the issue of immunity will not be in the case.
Well, what do you think of this whole idea of this has to be done before Election Day, or are the delay tactics on the up and up? Like, again, we always come to this when I ask you about Trump's legal woes. There's the legal problems that are deadly serious if you convince me of that. But then there is this thing called the election where Trump is leading by leaps and bounds, even in Iowa, for instance.
Listen, if this trial starts on March 5th or 4th, which I think is the date, he has to be in the courtroom. This is weeks before Super Tuesday. He will not be able to campaign. He can walk outside the courthouse and say whatever he wants, but when she's on that bench and the judge is and the jury is in the box, the defendant has to be there.
Well, we'll see where all this goes. It's just making me very nervous. It reminds me of, cutting down all the laws to get at the devil. I'm not suggesting Trump's the devil, but some people, I think, see him that way at times. Have you had any chance to look at these oral arguments over this tax case? Honestly, I'm having a little trouble with it, but it's based on the 2017 corporate tax reform law I'm looking at the
terrible piece of legislation that Trump and the Republicans gave us. For a lot of lower middle class and middle class, it reduced taxes. For people that have investments and for people that live in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Illinois, and California, 1/3 of the country raised taxes because there's no deduction for state and local taxes. But that's not the issue. The issue here is a couple that invested $40,000 with their neighbor. The neighbor made widgets. The neighbor moved to India, where he came from. The widgets business expanded. He built 3 more factories and made these widgets. I'm calling them widgets. I don't know what they are, but whatever they were, he can't make enough of them overnight. And they got a tax bill for $129,000. Well, wait a minute. There's no dividends on the stock. There's no interest on the stock, and we can't even sell the stock. Aha. But the 2000 Act that Trump signed taxes wealth, not income. And your $40,000 investment, in our humble opinion, the IRS, is now worth $129,000. So you owe taxes on $129,000 that you don't have, can't spend, and can't touch. So the issue is, does the Constitution allow the taxation of wealth or just income? It's a no-brainer to me, but if you listen to the court, they're afraid of the IRS.
Yeah, well, I wish we had more no-brainers or actually well-thought-out principle stands, say maybe based on the tradition of natural law that actually upholds the Constitution. But as our conversation today just highlighted, we don't have much of that in Washington, D.C., our dear Imperial City.
No, we don't. But back to where we started. You have a doorstop for your new house. That 500-page book that arrived in the mail a few weeks ago.
I am not going to use Freedom's Anchor as a doorstop, sir. That would be displayed prominently. Oh, well, always enjoy my time with you, Judge. If folks want to check out your podcast, Judging Freedom, how can they do so, and who do you got on this week?
Oh, I have Scott Ritter at 4:30 Eastern today, 3 o'clock. Karen Kwiatkowski, who just wrote a piece at LouRockwell.com, slicing and dicing the Congress for failing to define anti-Semitism, but for condemning it. Only Thomas Massey voted against it because Congress doesn't have any business getting involved in the First Amendment. And Matt Ho, the young ex-Marine, ex-State Department official, fierce anti-war crusader. Matt Ho at 2, Karen Kwiatkowski at 3, and one of my champions, Scott Ritter, at 4. And Ritter will answer this question. What conceivable military benefit is there to the Israelis when they slaughter civilians?
Well, Judge, people got to check out the podcast. Until next week, wish you all the best. God bless, sir.
Thank you. Right back at you, Joey.
Thank you, sir. Again, folks, that's Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time here on the show. How you doing today, Eddie?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Joe?
You feel refreshed today after your vacation?
No, I wouldn't call it a vacation.
Yeah,
just trying to stay out of the news.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into it, right?
No.
Yeah, but I know some stuff, and daggum, what a wicked, weird world we live in.
Yeah, Joey. Yes, we do. Just the season, too. It brings out the crazies just a little bit more.
Indeed it does. Like, what do we even have a constitution, by the way? That conversation with Napolitano, just, my goodness.
The only reason I've learned here lately, I think we have a constitution, is so they can put it in your face and then tell you, we're not going to go by that.
Yeah, so they can pretend we're limited.
Right.
And we have fealty to this thing we all love, right? Yes. And then they're out, screwing everything that moves in the middle of the night.
Yeah. But until, we can hold them accountable, and not a whole lot we can do there, but just go, oh, they got us again.
Yeah.
Those filthy rats.
Well, how about this? Let's hit a break.
All
but
right.
First, this part of the program, I think you know about these fellas, is brought to you by Cole Plumbing.
Oh, I know the Cole brothers very well. I don't know how long ago it was. I would say it's 2 years ago when I called broker I worked for at the time, and we were trying to close on a house and, had something come up emergency-wise. And he's like, I don't know what we're going to do. I think your closing's just not going to happen, Eddie. And I thought, and I thought, and I thought, I was like, well, it's a gas leak. Let me just try James. Maybe James Cole can tell me, if nothing else, where to go. Didn't even think about James being in that business of being able to fix gas leaks. I called him up. I kind of explained the situation. He dropped what he was doing and was there within an hour. Fixed my little old problem so Eddie could go to closing and get paid. And honestly, at the end of the day, James never charged me for that. So if you're listening, James, don't send me a bill now. It's too late. But but what I'm saying is he was there when I needed him. And whether it's something simple like we always talk about, maybe you're getting a tankless hot water heater, maybe you're doing some renovations, or maybe you got a clogged line, Cole Plumbing is the people you want to call, Joey.
They can really do it all. Don't forget about that proprietary pipelining technology. Yes. Essentially, they can get big jobs, especially like burst pipes, done with precision expertise.
Without tearing up the whole yard or the whole wall. Instead of making a huge mess, they get her done.
So to see everything they have to offer there at Cole Plumbing, you can always go to coleplumbing.com. That's coleplumbing.com. Or give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Well said, Eddie. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometime.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with the updated market report. Over the past 11 and a half months, over 4,100 homes have sold and closed in our MLS system with an average price of $245,000. Houses are selling at listed price throughout the river region, and over 35% are selling in the first 30 days on the market. Rising interest rates tend to keep some people from buying, but it didn't stop over 4,100 families from buying this year. There is a cost to waiting and expecting rates to fall, and that cost is appreciation, which has been rising nearly every month for the last 2 years. So the house that you delay buying this year could cost you $35,000 more next year, even if the rate falls. One alternative is to buy now, refinance when rates improve, and that way you are not paying more for the house that you really wanted. For the facts, call Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
This holiday season is about more. Not more presents and shopping, more you. That's why at Montgomery Men's Health, we're celebrating the season of connection. Connecting with your family, with true friendships, and with yourself. We're treating erectile dysfunction with the least invasive, most advanced treatment options. We've been the local support team helping men get that spark back. In the bedroom, on the job, at the gym, and everywhere life takes you. To celebrate this season of connection, we're giving away free B12 at our Montgomery clinic with every office visit for those who medically qualify. Our commitment is to take care of men, because men who feel alive will change the world. Don't wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Be the Life of the Party.
Okay, first turn the music off. Then ask for everyone's attention. Now, tell them that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Boom! Now everyone knows you're not just a pretty face. You have some brains inside that face that know how to save hundreds on home insurance. Woo!
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm just seeing some breaking news here. A fella walked into the Polish parliament with a fire extinguisher, and he was spraying it all over the room. And he, in particular, when asked, like spraying people, but they said, "Why did you do this?" He said it was to put out candles for the menorah that was lit for Hanukkah.
Oh.
He then went on to say, and has previously claimed that there's a plot to turn Poland into a Jewish state. Well, apparently this guy's a member of parliament. For a second, I thought he was a president of an Ivy League college.
Hey, by the way,
272-9228.
Is she going to be gone?
No, she survived. The
So
board. No, they came out and said she's fine. We looked at the plagiarism stuff.
Yeah.
And it does look like plagiarism, but not enough to actually. And of course, we're referring to the president of Harvard. We're looking at her on the screen.
Let's go back in the Wayback Machine. You remember Bud Light? Now they weren't going to fire nobody.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, it's been about a year. You know, every one of them have been fired.
Mhm.
Every single one of them.
Right? Yeah, I remember.
Same here. Watch.
Wait, they're going to clean house and nobody's looking.
They're going to, should be gone.
I like the way you think.
I'm telling you. They're not going to ever admit public shame. But behind closed doors, she's walking to the unemployment line. With a hefty golden parachute, no doubt.
Yeah, but I don't know. They protect their own there at the Ivy League. And folks are like, stop giving your money to them, stop all this stuff. It's like they're sitting on, what, a $50 billion endowment?
Yeah, but dude, the way they blow through money, they could blow through that quickly.
Now, it's a radical idea. It's not my normal politics. But what if the federal government seized the endowments, like the hundreds of billions of dollars from the Ivy League endowments, and gave it as reparations to African Americans?
Nah.
I think it'd be a great idea.
Not a reparations guy. Do not open that floodgate.
Yeah, but why are you against it?
You don't open that floodgate. I had nothing to do with that. You had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, we had nothing.
So why?
But we're not. Do you have money invested in Harvard?
No. But Joey, let me go ahead and tell you. You give them a dollar somewhere, they're coming after your dime later on, buddy.
They're already taking my dollars and dimes.
No. Nip that in the bud.
Well, then how are we going to create a food fight on the left? I thought that would be a pretty good way of creating a food fight on the left and also solving a big problem. Everybody seems to complain about the Ivy League and, our sordid
Just
past.
leave them up to their own. Just cut off government funding and, hey, if you can't make it, you can't make it. And guaranteed, they ain't going to make it.
See, you're looking at the reparations side of this. I'm asking you to look at how much this would harm the Ivy League. And listening to them sit there and complain about how they can't do this, they'll sound more right-wing than anybody
So what
else.
happens when they run out of money there, Joey? They come to you. You don't ever open that dam.
Good luck getting into my Bitcoin wallet.
Okay, because you feel safe today.
What, you got a quantum computer stowed up your backside?
You feel safe with that today? How many people years ago felt safe where they put their money in the bank and the bank didn't have their money?
I don't feel safe at all. We don't follow the Constitution.
You just said they can't get in your Bitcoin wallet. There's a will, there's a way, my friend.
Just saying the cat's out of the bag. Or the genie's out of the box. You know, like, we got to start thinking creatively here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About intelligent things.
Right.
Not stupid ways to give people more of anybody else's wealth that they didn't earn themselves. No. The beggarism, all that kind of crap, we got to cut it off.
Oh, no.
I'm even done with Begoween. Other people call it Halloween.
Begoween?
Begoween.
What's wrong with that? Kids asking
All
for
we're
candy.
doing is right, sending kids out, teaching them to beggar at an early age, and it's okay. You'll get accepted with your friends, and look, you'll get a little bonus, some candy.
You're no fun today.
No Begoween.
But yeah, what we're talking about is here. Despite support from corporation, Harvard President Gay, her name's Claudine Gay, is under fire over plagiarism allegations. But apparently she's not going to be removed from office.
Not in the public, not just yet. Yeah. I mean, if you
but
look
the plagiarism stuff does seem quite real.
Yeah, well, also, if you just look at, since she's been there, her tenure, I guess you'd say, look at how far she's taken that school back and how many people have left. And there's not very many people happy with her. And I just think at this point, the board is fearful of her. So this is the way you get rid of her. You just don't do it publicly. But she'll be gone. I think even Portnoy came out, and I'm sure others are going to come out and say, hey, I'm not going to hire anybody from these schools anymore.
That's the trick. Amen.
Well, okay, Oregon. Right now, you can get a high school diploma in Oregon just for showing up. So if I own a business, and I do, I'll never hire anyone that's ever graduated from high school in Oregon, because all they did was show up. It doesn't prove they can read or write, and they dumbed it down so they could get their graduation rates up. Come on.
Yeah. It's just the Ivy League's a basket case. It really is.
What? Sure.
I'm just trying to come up with creative ways to take down the informal government, so to speak. And maybe your way would work better.
I don't know.
That said, we got to hit another break, but this... Don't be laughing at me.
No. I should in a break. Duke gave me a little text.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he wanted money, Whitey.
Well, he's got a point.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he
and
does.
even he knows that.
No, it's not from us. It's from Harvard. But this part of the program, folks, brought to you by Dylan Rings. And Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dylan Rings are ready to help you with all your jewelry needs. They are a full-service jewelry shop there at Dylan Rings. But you should go check out their Facebook and Instagram page. If you can't immediately just stop by 119 Brown Springs Road, go to their Facebook, go to their Instagram, and you can see previews of all these amazing sales they've got extended up to the Christmas holidays. So not many days left to shop for Christmas. But for instance, I'm looking at one piece right here, and I have a lot of this jewelry actually on a Christmas tree,
You
like
see
ornaments.
This? Yeah, with the ornaments. So 30 to 50% off these stunning diamond and gemstone pendants.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, Joey.
They really are beautiful. I mean, who needs mistletoe when you've got gems that steal the show? I like that
They
line.
look good, too. I like that display.
That's beautiful stuff. 30 to 50% off, too?
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. I wonder if they bumped their heads or something. That is...
They are in the Christmas spirit, my
an
friend.
amazing deal. And I think, am I seeing like all different types of stones inset there with the diamonds?
Oh, yeah.
And, wow.
Well, also, don't forget, I think it was a couple days ago, they had that crown on there. They've
Oh,
got
yeah.
that crown. Well, I wish you would have gone by and just kind of get a picture with that crown on, Joey. That would have been really
more material for you?
Material girl. But I think that's so unique. They have really cool custom jewelry like that there. I don't know if Joey would look good in it, but I bet one of the princesses here in town would. Especially if you had a daughter or a wife, you wanted to let them know that they're truly Sure, they're the queen.
So y'all check out Dillon Rings today. Again, you can see all these great sales they've got going on their Facebook or Instagram page. But the best way to work with Dillon Rings, stop by that showroom.
Definitely.
119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway, a little before Taylor Road. It's got where that old fun zone used to be.
Yep.
That's how I remember it. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. You still don't like my idea. Seize all the endowment funds.
No. No, not for that. I mean, I don't mind seizing the money, but we can do better things than that.
Could make up for a lot of wrongs.
I'm making up for mine steadily every day.
We'll be back.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm here with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. Dot, the place is looking festive.
Yes, Christmas is definitely here.
I can see lots of things around here that would be great for Christmas.
The booths are stocked with everything you need for the Christmas season. And you know we enjoy your visits to see us and helping us keep up all those old good traditions and maybe starting a few new ones. But we love seeing each and every one of you.
What if somebody's looking for a special gift?
We've got the china, of course, and the crystals and the furniture, and we have the vinyl records and silver plate and jewelry and whatever else you think you want.
All right, Dot, give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday is 10 until 6. Saturday is 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard. And for Miss Dot and Mr. Gary and the McDaniel family, they wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for shopping Eastbrook.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on Your Side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on Your Side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures still below normal for the next few days, but not too bad for December. Cool again today with partial sunshine. Clouds will be increasing and the high temperature up to about 57. Mostly cloudy, chilly tonight, overnight low 34. Tomorrow and Thursday, highs near 60 both days, mostly sunny. Friday, a sun and cloud mix, high in the upper 50s. Some widely scattered showers possible after midnight Friday night and scattered showers on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader is to my left.
Yay.
And, but would you like to know how Biden and the media are gaslighting people about inflation, Eddie?
They're lying about it. But let's hear your side of things. But I can tell you there's a lot of big lies going on about it.
Now, these aren't my words. These are the words of Dr. Ron Paul.
Oh, okay.
So Ron Paul writes, President Biden recently repeated the claim that high prices are are caused by greedy businesses.
Oh, so greedy.
He might be onto something.
So greedy.
They're just extra greedy right now, especially when we print a lot of money. There's extra greedy. All these corporations. Yeah, I notice that from time to time. Anyway, let's start over.
All right.
President Biden recently repeated the claim that high prices are caused by greedy businesses. Biden is not alone in trying to gaslight the people into thinking price inflation is rooted in the actions of private individuals and not the fiat money system Americans have lived under since 1971. In the media, we see excessive consumer spending on luxury items, for example, being blamed for continued price inflation. The fact is that increased consumer demand can only cause prices to rise in those sectors of the economy subject to the increased demand. Prices increasing across the economy are always the result of the Federal Reserve's conduct of monetary policy. Trying to minimize the harm of inflation, some people in government and media will insist that while many prices for goods are higher than they were pre-lockdown, they are still lower than were prices in the 1990s when you consider that the quality of these goods has increased. The argument is that buyers are getting higher value today than 30 years ago. Of course, any increased quality is because of market-driven innovation. If America had a free market monetary system instead of a central bank-controlled fiat currency, prices would drop as quality increases. It is also important not to ignore the fact that the Federal Reserve's devaluation of the dollar's purchasing power creates an incentive for individuals to spend money as soon as they receive it, and a disincentive for them to save. This is because the dollar will have less value a year from now than today. Therefore, high levels of spending are a rational response to an irrational fiat money system. High prices and supply shortages were inevitable after the lockdowns. However, prices would have adjusted back if the Federal Reserve had not pushed interest rates to zero. While the Fed has raised interest rates, it has not raised rates to anywhere near where they would likely be in a free market. In fact, rates are not at historically high levels, yet many worry the Fed's rate increases are pushing the economy towards a recession. This shows how addicted Americans are to the Fed's easy money. I didn't know Ron Paul was a Billy Joel fan. When the dollar's purchasing power erodes, workers will seek higher wages. This is why periods of high inflation are accompanied by strikes and other types of union activity aimed at increasing wages. This has made unions another popular scapegoat for price inflation when the truth is that Fed-caused price increases are the real reason behind labor unrest. You like that one? I saw you nodding over there out of the corner of my eye.
Doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out.
Sadly, Ron Paul continues, the increase in nominal wages gained by the recent series of strikes is unlikely to keep up with the declining real wages resulting from the Federal Reserve's assault on the dollar's value. This is why, contrary to the claims of many progressives, working people are the victims, not the beneficiaries of price inflation. As a Texas union official once told me, gold has always been the friend of the worker. This makes sense because gold is money whose value cannot be manipulated by the central bank. Inflation is the act of money creation by the Fed, and high prices are a symptom of inflation, not a cause, and not the fault of greedy business, consumers, and unions. The Federal Reserve is also the engine of the welfare warfare state. Therefore, to restore a system of limited government, individual liberty, and free markets, Congress must cut spending and audit, then end the Fed. I think Ron Paul makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting there going, that guy's cookie seemed to be right about a lot of stuff.
Sure does.
He does.
And has been.
Oh, yeah. But the folks who keep getting it wrong also keep winning elections. It's amazing.
They're the ones that get promoted up.
It'd
be amazing if you could take the two ideas that both of them have had and just kind of go in reverse and kind of look how these things came to be. And if we could also go forward and see which ones were right. Generally, the way we've been going with the politicians that we're letting run us, Joey, going to hell in a handbasket. I mean, it's just every day is getting. When's the last time you had a good news story where the United States won? I mean, we just feel like we got a victory. We just feel good about something.
Oh, let me look real quick. Look. You wanted a story where the United States won. A good story.
Where we can say as citizens, hey, that was a good one for us. Instead of everyone coming to us hat in hand, we got to finance the whole damn world. Whenever there's trouble in the world, go see Uncle U.S., man. He can bail us out. You know what? Sometimes hard times just got to fall on people.
The FBI arrested a man for threatening to kill Vivek in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't even.
Yeah, that's not a good story.
I just don't even know if I believe that. Would you come out with the FBI?
No, apparently what happened is the Vivek campaign sent a text, and I'm going to be here, and the guy said, good, but it makes it easier for me to come and shoot him in the face.
Oh.
And then carried on actual threats, texting him and all that. So
Well,
I'd imagine that should be taken seriously.
Sure, but Kennedy had one try to kill him not too long ago, too, didn't he?
Oh, wait. Patrick is saying, number one, he's saying, end the Fed.
I'm down.
Here, Patrick. But here's a white pill, Eddie, Patrick says.
Okay.
Grocery taxes got cut here in Alabama this year.
I'll give it that. We got a 2% cut. We asked for 4. We got 2, so we get 50% of everything we asked for. And told to like it.
So you're not going to take a little bit of
No, because that's not a permanent deal. We're going to do the study to see if we can get that money back from you.
Wait, we're going to do the what?
The study to see if there's a way we can get that money back from you.
The study.
Yeah, and that's all they're going to do. But when they give you the tax, like that penny tax we've been paying for how many years, they quit studying that the day they put that sucker in.
Joey might look like King Nothing in a crown. Great song, bad look, writes M. Hogan.
That's a good song.
I don't know that song.
Metallica.
Is it?
King
I
Nothing.
don't know off by name. I might know the music.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
by
definitely
name.
would. You definitely would.
There's a lot of stuff like that. Romex Angler on the live stream. And we're now live streaming. Joey Clark Live on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
You can also watch on the X platform.
Oh, that's right.
At the Joey Clark. Give me a follow there on the X platform. But Romex Angler says, I have a Christmas present for you, Joey. I should have it this week. All right.
No. Is it inflatable?
I don't know. Like a bouncy castle?
I was thinking like one of the big inner tubes we can go tubing down the river in.
Oh, okay. That's what you were thinking.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I've
That
been
would
watching
be
a lot of the clear water streams out of Florida, and this time of year it's kind of chilly here. Man, we could go down south. Maybe even go to Key West. Bring that inflatable tube.
Mm.
We'll have a good time. We could tie our tubes together. Be like buddies going down the river. You hear banjos?
You said tire tubes. This part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And there at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team are ready to help you, especially for the holidays.
Oh, that's right, Joey. We got some holiday specials, don't we?
Yeah, I normally do it all by memory with XI Repair, but not right now. Here, you get the one.
Okay.
Don't look at that right there on the bottom. What are they doing for the holidays?
We got custom PC builds for students, professionals, and fun. And also, they got financing available. To me, that's a big thing.
Nice.
That's a big thing. Also, I think I am going to talk to Jonathan because I've myself been doing a lot of YouTube and in the GoPro and my drone video, and I'm just running out of places to store that stuff on my computer. And I would like a computer I can dedicate to that where I can put good editing software and things like that on there. So Jonathan, for $6.99 is right up my alley with that, man.
That's pretty awesome.
I think so.
And I'm looking over here. They've got some amazing deals on smartphones from older models, like an iPhone SE, for $191.
Darn.
I mean, it's as good as new, though.
Yeah.
These are
Well, I
new
bought
and refurbished. Yeah.
2 or 3 phones through Jonathan. Never had trouble with any of them.
And these will be 64 gigabyte versions.
Okay.
And they go all the way up to the iPhone 12 for only $412. Which is a heck of a lot better than a new one.
Yeah.
They also have the Samsung products, the most expensive being the Samsung 23, but most expensive is only $559.
That's still a really good deal, Joey.
Yeah, it's an amazing
For a
deal.
new phone, I'm all about that, man. All about
and
that.
these are unlocked 128 gigabyte there on the Samsung products. So, folks, at XI Repair, they got it going on, as well as electronic bundles and so many things to jump in on there. And, go to the pros there at XI Repair. You might think, I can go get a charger or headphones and stuff at a gas station. No. Go see XI Repair first.
Yeah.
That number is 777-1234. That's 777-1234. Or just go to xirepair.com and be sure to tell them, that you heard about them here.
That's right, Joey.
On News and Views in the afternoon with Joey and Eddie. More News and Views, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. Adams Drugs has been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for over a decade and have gone from 7 stores to 12 stores. We attribute our success for what they've done for us. Thank you, Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey, Tammy, let me tell you about how to bring in those big deer.
Randy, I know how to attract the big bucks.
Ah, very funny. At Prattville Farm Center, we've been helping hunters be successful for over 35 years.
We have the products, supplies, and knowledge you need to get those big bucks.
That's right, Tammy. We don't believe in gimmicks or magic seed. We just believe in sound planting practices that work.
So come see us today at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Now that we're done talking about those big bucks, how about those cute does?
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Israel Defense Forces destroyed a Hamas rocket launch post and a weapons factory in northern Gaza. And reports are that troops are encircling Hamas's last 2 strongholds in that region. A New Hampshire man has been accused of sending text messages threatening to kill a presidential candidate ahead of a scheduled campaign event on Monday. The U.S. Attorney's Office did not name the candidate. However, a spokesperson for Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy said the texts were directed at his campaign. Firefighters say they can't find any victims of a partial building collapse in the Bronx. Officials were looking into what caused that collapse. The 1927 building had been undergoing facade repairs. On Wall Street, the Dow had 108 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Weather can change quickly here in Alabama. Stay on top of the latest weather developments with the Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures still below normal for the next few days, but not too bad for December. Cool again today with partial sunshine. Clouds will be increasing and the high temperature up to about 57. Mostly cloudy, chilly tonight, overnight low 34. Tomorrow and Thursday, highs near 60 both days, mostly sunny. Friday, a sun and cloud mix, high in the upper 50s. Some widely scattered showers possible after midnight Friday night and scattered showers on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Millbrook man has been sentenced to 32 years in federal prison Monday. 45-year-old Kawasi Wilson was sentenced after being convicted of gun and drug charges. Agents found 1,000 grams of cocaine, guns, and more than $20,000 in cash during a 2022 raid at Wilson's home. A 19-year-old man has been arrested and charged after a high-speed police chase through Watauga County late Sunday night. Skylar Salter refused to pull over when a state trooper attempted to make a traffic stop on I-65 near Pine Level. The chase continued into Prattville city limits where Salter ultimately crashed. The man who prosecutors say was swinging a folding chair during Montgomery's riverfront brawl entered a plea in Montgomery Municipal Court Monday. Reggie Ray pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge and was given a suspended sentence in order to perform community service. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks. No $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Yeah, the comment section, y'all are hilarious. You're absolutely hilarious. Actually, y'all are kind of funny.
Pretty good.
Did you like Fat Pat and that song?
I wasn't feeling down, but I do feel better after kind of watching that video.
And then Romex Angler was saying, damn, did I just see a lady give Joey flowers? It's easier to get a date, Joey, if you give the lady flowers.
Those are some good points right there. Good tips.
I mean, what sort of galaxy brain came up with that? But the lady in question, here's Amber.
It is. I'm back.
Amber with Shaw's Garden Center. How you doing, Amber?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful.
We're doing all right. I don't know. Eddie seems a little down to the
I'm good. What are you talking about? I'm good.
Maybe I should bring him a flower next time.
I'll be coming by actually and get some firewood for long.
I'll save you one then.
Yes, save me a rack, would you? It's kind of chilly. I don't know. Do people react like when it gets cold? That's when they come get firewood.
Yes, or when it's raining.
It's never like, hey, I'm going to be proactive. I know Rich the weatherman said it's coming to get cold next week. I won't wait till Monday to get firewood.
Right. Yes, they always just seem to.
Okay, then I don't feel so bad because I'm that same guy. I'm that same guy.
You're not in that boat alone.
Good deal. Because I'm like, Rich, I know you said it's getting cold, but I keep forgetting to get the firewood.
Yes.
Well, and I was asking you off air, so do people need to pre-order firewood, or is it like kind of get there early or get there at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, and if we do run out, we do get more in stock. Can't necessarily say it'll be by that afternoon, but probably by the next morning.
And you got quite an inventory. I didn't realize you had so many racks.
Yes, we can actually hold 17 large racks, which is right at 5 cords of firewood.
Yeah, that's a lot of firewood.
That is a lot of firewood.
And so far, just this fall, we've probably went through 25, 28 cords, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
we do like to burn down here.
Yes.
I mean, especially in the fall because we'll watch football outside. We'll have a little bonfire action. Right.
Yep.
Right. Wintertime, well, we do it because 2 reasons. One, we want a little fire out there because it's cold, but also in the house. Fire too.
Well, Eddie, do you
have a little warm?
Just a little bit.
Do you have a true wood burning fireplace in the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
currently don't, but I wish I did. I grew up with those.
I've been in other places that have gas fireplaces, and I thought, oh, that's going to be cool. It's so convenient. It's not the same. I don't even use the gas fireplaces we have at the other house because it's just not the same.
It's not the same heat.
Not the same heat. It's not the same ambiance. No, not nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and so Shaw's Garden Center is the place to go if you're looking to stock up for that firewood, folks.
Yes, we got our large racks, which is 1/4 of a cord for $84, and then our small racks is 1/8 of a cord, and it's $45.
And one of the nice things, just people wonder, when I go there, you guys always load my truck for me too.
Yes.
I mean, I stand there and act like I'm helping,
Yes.
but really, you guys do it all.
Yeah, and I mean, as long as you pay us, I mean, we'll.
Oh yeah, that's the important part too.
I mean, as long as you pay for your wood, we're happy to load it for you.
Yeah, Southern hospitality doesn't mean free.
Right, man. I appreciate that.
And
See ya.
A lot of people ask too what a truck actually holds.
Yeah.
Technically, I mean, I could pretty much tell you whenever you pull in how I can fit a large rack into a Prius.
Is that right?
So,
You can make it work, huh?
Yes, I can make it work. I mean,
Okay.
if you want the wood, we can get it for you.
You play a lot of Tetris, do you? Is that?
Some days, maybe.
Well, and you're saying y'all have sales going on with outdoor furniture right now?
Yes, our Grassy Ridge Gazebo furniture is actually on sale 5% right now.
Okay.
Through the end of the month.
And you said concrete as well?
Concrete as well is 10% off.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, I've got a question for you. Again, we talked a little bit off air.
Right.
People that want to plant in the spring, you know,
Yes.
this kind of the year, they're like, oh, I'm planning to do my planting.
Yes, so many people think this time of the year that you can't plant anything because it's going to freeze.
Yes.
Or, you know, we've had a couple of people, you know, because we're still trying to get caught up on some of our landscaping jobs where we're just now getting to some of our clients.
Mhm.
And you're getting into your preferred planting season.
Okay.
I mean, your preferred planting season is November through April.
Excellent.
It gets whatever it is that you're planting, whether it's shrubs, flowers, trees,
Bulbs?
it gets it used to the ground before we actually hit our dry, hot months.
Okay. And that makes plenty of sense, too, because a lot of times, and I'm one of those guys, plant all these pretty flowers in March and April, and they look pretty for like 2 weeks, and then
We
that's
get a
it.
freeze again?
Yeah. Like, well, what happened here?
Yes.
What happened? So plant them now. This time of year, go ahead and plant them.
Yes.
Get used to things, start growing a little bit.
Mhm.
I like
We're
that
actually
idea.
working on designing about 6 different properties right now.
Oh, wow. Now, does that go same rule for trees? Is it the best time to plant trees right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. They give them time to get used to the ground. I
And
gotcha.
we'll actually be getting in our fruit trees and stuff within the next month.
Oh, is that right?
Mhm.
What kind of fruit can you grow around these parts?
What kind of fruit do you like?
No,
I
like
mean, you
I'm-
can pretty much grow any kind. I
Okay.
mean, even a lot of the citrus trees now
Mhm.
that we get in, you can acclimate them to our winters per se.
Oh, really?
So even if you wanted it to only be like a container
Yeah.
citrus tree, you could do that. Just leave it outside a little bit longer and a little bit longer each year. Like say you leave it out through the end of November
Mhm.
this year, and then next year leave it out to the end of December and in
Really?
January to where you can actually get to where you can plant it in the ground.
So even like
Yeah.
a lemon tree, I could do a lemon tree.
Myers lemons are best.
That's what, but I didn't think you could do that here.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll be coming
And
back.
kumquats and key limes.
Yeah, I thought because of the
grapefruit.
we were right on the border, but I thought because we did get that little bit of freeze, it would just knock them out. Oh, that's good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have
Oh.
lemons down there that are about this big.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I like that.
Well, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I had
learned
no
something
idea.
today.
My little kumquat trees, they're so heavy with fruit, they're like leaned over.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I'm trying to think if like some fella comes on over and you can tell he has no clue what he's doing.
Why are you looking at me?
Never would know who that fellow would be,
Right.
but
No, it'd be me. And
they
like,
look a lot
but you
like-
could give advice on like, okay, I've got this amount of bed space. This is what my property's like. This is what I'm going for. Y'all can give all those tips and tricks.
yes, because not only myself, but my dad is also a designer.
Mhm.
So I mean, no matter which one of us you catch, we can pretty much tell you what you can plant where.
Well, there you go.
That way, we tell you, hey, don't put a crepe myrtle right up beside your foundation. It's not going to last long.
Speaking of that, I have a question for you. Maybe you can answer.
Okay.
Weeping willows.
Yes.
I've always been told that weeping willows, you don't want to plant them close to your house because they attract mosquitoes. Have you ever heard this before?
No, the only thing that attracts mosquitoes is water that's sitting around. But if you have
Okay.
water that's sitting around, a weeping willow is an excellent tree to plant.
Suck it up?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Is there any other trees like that that are just good to kind of, if you got a soggy yard or something like that, kind of help dry
Weeping
things
willows
up?
are best.
Mhm.
Weeping cherries are just hard to come by.
Okay.
But yeah, weeping willows work excellent as far as being able to soak up some extra
Oh, I
water
didn't know
that you
that.
may have that sits in a certain spots in your yard.
That's good info because I always was told that the mosquitoes, that was the thing. And I was like, I love weeping willow trees. They're beautiful. Oh, don't put them by your house. The mosquitoes. Good to know.
Yes, no, you would be good.
Excellent. Man, she's here just answering questions all day long.
I know.
Maybe we should do an all day segment. We could just play around all
Come
day.
on. Come on. I'll go grab
We're a
some
little
lunch.
crazy though. I'll admit
Yeah.
that to you. We're a little nuts. I mean, you've heard the show.
If you get here on a Friday, it can really be, it can be a challenge.
Could be a challenge.
Yeah, it can be a challenge on Fridays.
Might be up for it.
Come on, be careful what you wish for.
It's either that or go load firewood, one of the two.
You know, actually, that's another really good idea. Joey's been going to the gym a lot lately, but he's got that good upper body strength, but he doesn't know what to do with it. So I would think if we could give him tasks like unloading and loading firewood, it'd make him feel useful. Yeah. You know how you give a dog like a pack sometimes and it makes him feel... We could do the same with Joey.
Good.
What do you think about that, Joey?
I think right now violence against you would be incredibly useful in my life. That's what I think. So, Amber, before we let you go, if we've forgotten anything or if folks are interested in all this you have to offer, how do they get in touch? How do they stop by?
They can stop by at 3295 Wetumpka Highway. We're right across from Range 231.
Yep.
Or else they can give us a call at 244-0506.
Well, I appreciate your time. That flew by. Did we leave anything out?
No, I mean, I do still have poinsettias and Christmas cactus if anybody's still needed anything. And I also have some 8-inch emerald green arborvitaes, which looks like a little tiny Christmas tree.
Oh, interesting.
And they're already pre-decorated for you.
Oh,
so.
cool. Oh, and living trees.
Living trees, yeah. You could actually plant them afterwards.
I like that.
Well, folks, y'all check out Shaw's Garden Center today. Good to see you, Amber.
Y'all too.
Thank you.
More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Craving a taste of the holidays that's as sweet as it gets? Look no further than Sweet Creek Farm Market, your ultimate destination for one of the area's largest selection of locally grown pecans, irresistible pecan products, and delicious homemade treats. Roasted and salted, honey roasted, classic pralines, chocolate honey baked, or creamy white chocolate pecans. Don't miss the double chocolate bourbon pecan pies. Your family will love the homemade pies, cakes, and candies in more flavors and varieties than you've ever seen. Stop in the cafe and try Sweet Creek's award-winning barbecue or show-stopping peach cobbler with ice cream. After you eat, shop their charming selection of gifts, including many Alabama-made products. Unique gifts and sweet treats will be a hit with your loved ones. Whether you're looking for a hostess gift or a stocking stuffer, Sweet Creek Farms has what you need. Like them on Facebook or stop by their location 2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231. Merry Christmas from Sweet Creek Farm Market.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your local Roto-Rooter. The Tears family extends best wishes to all those in the river region this holiday season. Don't let plumbing issues turn your celebrations into a lump of coal. Roto-Rooter is a phone call or a click away for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 272-7130, or online at rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, Roto-Rooter.
I'm here with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. Dot, the place is looking festive.
Yes, Christmas is definitely here.
I can see lots of things around here that would be great for Christmas.
The booths are stocked with everything you need for the Christmas season. And you know we enjoy your visits to see us and helping us keep up all those old good traditions and maybe starting a few new ones. But we love seeing each and every one of you.
What if somebody's looking for a special gift?
We've got the china, of course, and the crystal and the furniture, and we have the vinyl records and silver plate and jewelry and whatever else you think you want.
All right, Dot, give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday is 10 until 6. Saturday is 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard. And from Miss Dot and Mr. Gary and the McDaniel family, they wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for shopping Eastbrook.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
The fall sale is on, and there's never been a better time to upgrade your floors. During Prattville Carpet's biggest sale of the year, find deep discounts on Mohawk flooring for every room in your home, plus interest-free financing with approved credit. Get new floors before the holidays with huge discounts. Visit PrattvilleCarpet.com or call 285-8117 today.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We got Eddie Bader in the house.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. And now, right across the desk from me, we have the one, the only Jeff Deist. Hey, Jeff, how you doing today?
I am doing. How are you?
Those headphones all right? Too loud? Or
No, they're perfect.
Okay, good. Good to see you, sir. Now, I was talking with Judge Knapp about this at the beginning of the show, and it's an old refrain. It's just something I guess I got to get over. Maybe it'll be part of my maturation whenever that happens. You get people like Liz Cheney going, I'm working with the Democrats because, Jeff, I believe in the Constitution. and you see these trials against Trump. You see the impeachment stuff now coming out about Biden and family. When people now appeal to the Constitution, I want to go full on Lysander Spooner. Like, what Constitution? Like, it just seems like a piece of paper you throw out there to make an excuse, but you don't actually follow it.
Yeah, what they really mean is Supreme Court jurisprudence. That's what they mean. Supreme Court precedent.
Right.
Which, unfortunately, people have fallen into the very bad habit of calling the law of the land. Roe v. Wade is the law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hear that all the time. No, it's not.
Right.
It is the Supreme Court interpreting the law of the land, and it's subject to change.
Yeah, it's almost like, isn't that how the British do it? They don't have a written constitution, but it's always changing over time.
Free flow.
Yeah. And we see how that's worked out for Britain. There's no surveillance state over there, or speech laws, or anything like that. Yeah, and it seems like no matter whether it's from the right or the left, basic freedoms are always under assault. It's like, here's the latest emergency. Here's my latest identity group I want to stump for. Your freedoms are dangerous to me and my cause. That seems the constant refrain every news cycle.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because we don't have an agreed upon definition of freedom in this country, to put it mildly, right? A lot of people who see the world the way we do might say that freedom is the absence of government coercion. It's your right to live more or less as you wish to live without the government basically impinging on that, so provided you're not out there hurting other people or defrauding other people, whatever it might be. It's a very negative conception of rights. But to a lot of our progressive friends, freedom is not attained until one doesn't have to worry about rent or food or paying for education or paying for medicine, a whole panoply of what we might call positive rights. So when you have a positive rights worldview, anybody who's not on board with the progressive program, if Rand Paul votes against Obamacare, he is withholding medical care from us. He's not just declining to provide it. He's actually actively withholding. He's actively hurting us. He's aggressing against us because we have the kind of progressive world we'd like to have, and he's standing in the way simply by not sanctioning it. So we have this idea that, well, as long as you're not aggressively imposing yourself on someone else, you don't really owe them to do X, Y, and Z for them. But that's not shared necessarily in the West today.
Right.
Well, it's like you're conscripted. And I've been brushing up on my Ayn Rand. In particular, I discovered when I saw Klaus Schwab. Let me ask you about this before I mention Rand. Did you see Klaus Schwab talking about the libertarians of the anti-system?
I saw that. Joey, aren't you a little old for your Ayn Rand face? Jeez Louise.
Oh, no.
Come on. That's like you're supposed to do that when you're 16, man.
I was 18, actually. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. No, but I said my maturation that'll eventually
That's
come.
because nobody over 22 has enough free time, to get through those 110-page speeches by John Galt.
Yeah, Atlas Shrugged is a bit much. It's like, I get the point. You could have done this in 500 pages. I still like the Fountainhead, but I wanted to go back to that because it's this essay she wrote in the 60s where she called it the New Fascism Government by Consensus. And what she lays out in there, just looking at developments in her time, is pretty much what we now see on steroids with the World Economic Forum, where it's a bunch of different power groups. I think at one point she calls it like guild socialism. But the key point she makes, and it's the point you were getting at with rights and what people consider freedoms, is the basic socialist mentality is to blur the distinction between what's earned and unearned. And it seems like if you're just born here, you're owed a basic subsistence. Some people in power are owed a little bit more to get their plans to save the world done. But there's no such thing as like equality before the law. There's no your stuff, my stuff. It's kind of up for grabs constantly in this government.
Well, I know Eddie's been around the world a little bit in his military days.
Time or two.
I mean, if you've been to a place like Sierra Leone,
yeah,
you won the lottery by being born in America.
Thank you very much.
So first and foremost, let's all wake up in the morning and say, thank God I was born here, because that's a huge advantage. And you can apply that more broadly to the West, but you can definitely apply it to America. So I think we have to start there. And what's interesting about Rand is I remember she termed justice as the granting of the earned, and injustice as the granting of the unearned. So that's pretty hoity-toity, pretty flighty, pretty lofty. But if we think about it that way, right? If we say someone murders someone and is never caught and never serves any jail time or never does any restitution, we say, well, that's an injustice. They earned a punishment they didn't get.
Right.
So we flip that around, to this positive rights worldview. What are you owed simply by having been born into a society? Once you start down that path, it's pretty hard to stop.
Right. Yeah, and it becomes more and more addictive, I think. But when I look at Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, and it is something that was happening very much in the 30s, and if not earlier in this country, where instead of outright, communist revolution, it seemed like a silent revolution that went off with a bang with World War II. But a lot of socialist ideas got smuggled in with, like, well, we're not going to have communism, but we're going to have a responsibly regulated economy where there's cooperation and partnerships between the government and big business. And to me, my mind, maybe because I'm extreme or immature or whatever, is like, that sounds like economic fascism to me. But how do they keep getting away with this game of, like, if you want to cooperate, if you want to save the world from climate change, the next pandemic, the next cyber attack, be a partner with us, whether in Washington, D.C. or the World Economic Forum. They seem to have taken a monopoly, and then their words never really mean literally what they mean in the everyday dictionary definition. And so I guess this is how they foist it on folks, right? Where if I say, let's be inclusive, Jeff, there's a basic definition of that, but the leftist maybe has something different in mind.
Yeah, well, corporatism is, broadly speaking, that is the current worldview in the West. In other words, we have a social democratic system with a robust safety net. We have free market capitalism because we like the stuff that it yields us, but we regulate it up to the point of almost semi-nationalization or semi-state ownership of it. And I would argue, as Michael Rechtenwald argues, that big companies like Google and Facebook and Amazon are sort of governmentalities. They are sort of quasi-government entities in that because they're so large, so powerful, operate across so many jurisdictions, that in all those jurisdictions, including the U.S., they're sort of interwoven with the regulatory state, which is supposed to be watching over them. I think that's just the nature of bureaucracy. And so bureaucracy doesn't just occur on the governmental side. It occurs on the private, corporate side as well. So we have a private stock market. Amazon's, well, it's a public company, but it's owned by shareholders. You, Joey, can go buy a share of Amazon today. And so that's a private company, but it's web services, it's cloud services, which is where it actually derives most of its money. it's income. It turns out that prime delivery, although great, is not a moneymaker.
Right.
It turns out that having all that stuff show up at your house the next day or the day after is a money loser.
Right.
Right. So the areas where they are making money are the areas where they're most state connected, providing cloud services for alphabet soup agencies like NSA, for example. That's the Amazon we don't like so much. I like it when my toilet paper gets here the next day, and I don't have to go to Publix. But that NSA database they're helping to maintain, which probably knows that I bought toilet paper, I don't like that part so much.
Now, and I also brought this up with Judge Knapp. We didn't get into the details, but now it's been put on the back burner by Mike Johnson. What I think is going to happen with Section 702, the FISA, their ability to spy on Americans through the multi-hop rule, or if you're caught up incidental collection, and they call it. It used to be they could go to like a bank or they could go to a telephone company and these things and get records, which already, to me, that seems like those are my records, not the telephone companies. But they wanted to expand it in the House Intelligence version of the reform of this stuff. They wanted to expand that to everybody that offered public Wi-Fi. So
like Starbucks?
Starbucks, most restaurants you go to, most grocery stores even
places,
now, hotels. If you offer public Wi-Fi, you have to make the data on that public Wi-Fi available to the NSA and anybody else in the federal government.
Well, here's one of the huge changes in the digital era. And Judge Knapp has written and spoken a lot about this. It's just this data collection, this vacuuming up of data. Because now, with digital storage, it's possible to basically keep it forever in huge, vast quantities. Your texts, your emails, your phone logs, maybe where your car comes and goes because your phone explains that, whatever it might be. And in the old days, we had this idea, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, what do you care? You're a conspiracy theorist. You think the government's watching you. You're not so important. You're just some guy. You're not some revolutionary. They don't care about you. Well, that's true until they have a reason to care about you. And now technology makes it possible to say, hey, we didn't care about the texts of this Jeff Deist guy. We're not. But now perhaps I'm accused of something. I'm embroiled in something. Something comes up where I have a political opponent, whatever it might be. Now you can go back in time and say, okay, back in December of 2023, what was Jeff texting? And we can sort of hoover that up now in a way that we couldn't probably even 5 years ago.
It's almost like there isn't a dossier on you at the moment, but with a click of a button and an algorithm, we've got a dossier about everything you said.
Right.
And everywhere you've been. What's crazy is those programs could probably teach all three of us stuff about our own lives.
Oh, sure.
We don't know right now.
Yeah.
Well, right. The Fourth Amendment qualifier is a reasonable expectation of privacy. I believe that when I send a text to someone, despite the fact that that's going over whatever Wi-Fi using an Apple device or whatever it might be, I believe I have a reasonable expectation that that's private. That's like a conversation I'm having with them in a room. I'm not in an elevator with 20 people, right? I don't think that's necessarily shared amongst law enforcement today. I think they might disagree about that.
Well, and it's just, and here's another development I saw. Like, you can imagine, and we've seen this in the libertarian world a little bit, like, well, if we're not going to get the laws changed, if we're not going to change the minds of the cabal there in D.C., let's have technological solutions. And I think things like Bitcoin and blockchain have been amazing, and then just encryption in general. So we'll have encrypted end-to-end messaging. Well, the feds have responded to that in almost an old school, it reminds me of the Stasi, of, hey, let's set up tip lines for every particular, like if you're using WhatsApp in an encrypted way, let's start giving out tip lines, maybe even monetary benefits to folks who want to snitch on their friends or copy paste what was actually in the encrypted messages. And that is straight up Stasi stuff. You don't need a secret police. People would be shocked at how quickly your neighbor will want to tell on you.
We learned that during COVID, didn't we?
Well, we should have learned that during COVID. But, I mean, it just seems like we're dealing with a government that has no damn respect for liberty whatsoever. And it's why I like the tone of somebody, say, like a Javier Milei that's there in Argentina, though I was a little disappointed. It seems like Milei's going along to get along as he's first getting in there. Staffing with a few more moderates, like he didn't pull out of the Paris Climate Accord where he recently had a chance. So maybe this is strategic on his part to, get the main things done first. But when you look at the cause of liberty, not just in this country, but worldwide, Jeff, like, where do you see it going? Because I do see, like, I would say some call it white pills or hope. It's just, you can use the single word hope. Where are you seeing hope around the world for the cause of liberty?
Well, usually, like most things, it's born of necessity, right? There are countries all across the world that have abused their currency so badly, for example, that they're going to have to come up with an alternative. And Argentina is one of those countries.
Mm-hmm.
And in the short term, there's an incredible amount of U.S. dollars and U.S. dollar-denominated bank accounts in Argentina already, because the marketplace responded to a radically and rapidly devolving currency by saying, hey, dollars are out there in the world, we can bring those in. And so there's an exchange rate, there's an official exchange rate for the currency, the peso, the Argentine peso to dollars, but then there's a real one in the black market, which is different. People have bank accounts in dollars, they have physical dollars. So his idea, Javier Milei's idea that, well, let's use the dollar as, let's just go to dollarization while we try to figure out our own hyperinflation. I mean, that's the kind of maybe milquetoast half step that doesn't satisfy some people, but it's probably the best choice in front of him. So I think when we talk about liberty, it's not the human tendency, it's not the governmental tendency. It generally happens after an upheaval.
Well, and I went down a weird rabbit hole last night where it was a free press debate, Barry Weiss's organization, her publication. It was all women, and they were arguing about was the sexual revolution good for women, or did it fail? And at one point, was it Louise Perry? I think she's fantastic. She made the point that people need to understand how we in the West, how weird we are. She in particular is talking about monogamy and the sort of nuclear family idea, that is not a common thing across a lot of human history when you look at other cultures. And we're seeing as it declines, it's almost like a return to polygamy, where high status men have a lot of different women and low status men have no women, and there are a lot of women caught in between all this stuff. That seems to be a general pattern in human history. But I would add to that, it's not just the monogamy and say the Christian, Western Christian values that led to that. It's also this cause of liberty is incredibly rare, but you could also say incredibly weird. Like, I feel like if I tried to explain the philosophy of liberty as best I could to somebody, a lot of people in the world would be kind of deaf to it. They would go back to sort of that collectivist idea that, no, you're part of the group, shut up, sit down, how dare you think differently than the rest of us, or even think differently than the leaders that speak for the rest of us.
Certainly, it's a radical Western idea. Depending on how you want to frame it, you could say it is the natural evolution of the Enlightenment period. You could frame it as it's the bastardization of the Enlightenment period. Obviously, hyper-individualism has never been the norm, really, in any society, not even really in the United States. So it's a radical idea. It's a modern idea. It's only a couple hundred years old. But I don't think we need to overthink it with ideology so much. We just need to say that on a pragmatic level, we know what works, and that's markets and a higher degree of individual freedom, and especially property rights. I mean, that works. You can fill in the cultural stuff around that, but it doesn't seem like we're doing a very good job of that at the moment.
Sadly, I think you're correct. Yeah, we're not doing a great job of that. I've got to hit a break here. Again, we're talking with Jeff Deist. He's in the studio today. He's currently the General Counsel for Monetary Metals, former president of the Mises Institute, there for a decade, right? And also there's a stint there where you're the chief of staff for Ron Paul up there in D.C. And what, you do mergers and acquisitions as your specialty, like a tax attorney, essentially?
Correct.
Okay, so I got after the break, have you had a chance to look at the Supreme Court arguments going on with this recent 17 law? And
yes,
I want to get into that if we can after the break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, it's in the name. They're ready to help you men out. They're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. Now, of course, they can help you with your low testosterone. That's what they specialize in. And it's only $99, just a quick blood draw. And you can know your testosterone numbers. But they do more than that. In fact, when you do that blood draw for a testosterone score, you also get a PSA score, great marker for prostate health. And less, what would you say, invasive
Less
way
invasive.
of actually
Yes.
checking out that health. But they can also help you, fellas out if you're having issues in the bedroom, PEED, what those stand for. And also, Eddie, like you're a good example of this, and we've had others that have gone by Montgomery Men's Health. Not all those things I just mentioned, but you went in, your testosterone was fine, everything seemed fine, but they figured you had slow metabolism or something.
And so I started taking, I believe it's called Lipojet shots from them, took them once a week, changed everything around as far as the symptoms I was having with low T. I wasn't getting good sleep, brain fog, things like that. A lot of that changed, and it's funny because I got, I think my first shot on a Wednesday. Well, that Thursday afternoon, I kind of like, well, I do feel funny. I feel different, feel better. But I just got the shot yesterday. What could that possibly be?
Right.
So when I went back and talked to him that next week, I kind of was giggling with the nurse about it, and she's laughing. She's like, yeah, it was working. She said it almost works right away. And I could really feel it. My energy level was great, but the best thing was the brain fog seemed to ease up a little bit, and my sleep pattern. I got to have a normal sleep pattern. Instead of getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, like so many men my age do, you just can't sleep. You wake up. This really helped a lot.
So y'all check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Again, across the board, if you're a man, they're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. That number to make an appointment, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon, those fools on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometime.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back,
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look, and they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Well, don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
This holiday season is about more. Not more presents and shopping, more you. That's why at Montgomery Men's Health, we're celebrating the season of connection. Connecting with your family, with true friendships, and with yourself. We're treating erectile dysfunction with the least invasive, most advanced treatment options. We've been the local support team helping men get that spark back, in the bedroom, on the job, at the gym, and everywhere life takes you. To celebrate this season of connection, we're giving away free B12 at our Montgomery clinic with every office visit for those who medically qualify. Our commitment is to take care of men, because men who feel alive will change the world. Don't wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures still below normal for the next few days, but not too bad for December. Cool again today with partial sunshine. Clouds will be increasing and the high temperature up to about 57. Mostly cloudy, chilly tonight, overnight low 34. Tomorrow and Thursday, highs near 60 both days, mostly sunny. Friday, a sun and cloud mix, high in the upper 50s. Some widely scattered showers possible after midnight Friday night and scattered showers on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Again, we have Jeff Deist here in the studio with us, and where we left off is this. I don't quite understand it, I'll just admit. What exactly is at stake here with these arguments before the Supreme Court about the tax status? And this has to do with changes in the 2017 law that allowed for repatriation of profits, but you paid a one-time tax on it or something like that. But that could have implications down the road. Like I said, I don't fully understand this, so if you could set the table maybe a little better, Jeff. Like, what's going on here with this argument that we're now seeing in front of the High Court?
Well, first, you mentioned this 2017 legislation. The Trump administration was so tumultuous that we kind of didn't pay attention to some of the bigger bills that were passed during his presidency, and this was a big one. This was the biggest tax reform bill since 1986. So 86 was the big Reagan era. You know, what we call the tax code is basically written in 1986 or codified in 1986. This was a big deal. And so the United States, unlike most countries, taxes you a U.S. citizen or a U.S. resident. So if you live here, and you're from China, it doesn't matter, or if you're a citizen here, but you live in China, doesn't matter. U.S. citizens and U.S. residents are taxed on their worldwide income. Doesn't matter what the source of that income. You go get a job in Beijing, Joey, you're still a citizen of the U.S., you got to pay Uncle Sam tax. Now, you may get a credit for the taxes you pay to China.
Okay.
That's called a foreign tax credit. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're double taxed.
Okay.
But you got to file a return and da-da-da. So basically, one of only 6 or 8 civilized nations does this. And so Uncle Sam asserts jurisdiction over you no matter where you go. So this applies to corporations, too. So shocker, here's what most of them did as a result over the last 30 or 40 years was they created legal entities overseas so that they could sell their goods or services, like if you're Apple, if you're Google, however. And so all that income comes into that overseas corporation, not a U.S. corporation. And so the United States government doesn't tax that because it's not in the U.S. and it's not a U.S. corporation. The only way the U.S. Uncle Sam gets his grubby paws on that is if you take all that money from your Google subsidiary and you bring it back home to the mothership Google, and that's called a dividend. Because that's a corporation and it pays its owner a dividend. That owner happens to be another corporation called Google Parent, right? Just like if Google pays you a dividend as a shareholder.
Okay.
Okay, so you bring those dividends back and you got to pay tax. So as a result, a lot of big corporations didn't bring those dividends back. They just let them build up and invested more overseas, kept the money offshore because they're going to get a big tax hit on bringing it home.
Right, okay.
Very, very simple, okay? A lot of members of Congress over the years have recognized this. Oh my gosh, this is a big problem. We ought to tax them anyway. We ought to tax them as they make this money, regardless of where they make it. They ought to pay now at the parent level. Well, that raises all kinds of questions about constitutionality and this and that. But some of the big corporations said, hey, why don't you give us a one-time holiday? Give us a break on that dividends rate. We'll bring a bunch of it back.
Bring it back.
Right? And that's been proposed as sort of a standalone bill, but it never really passed. And so now it passed as part of a big bill. But the question entails, does the government, U.S. federal government, does Uncle Sam have the right to tax money that you haven't gotten? Okay, what we call unrealized income. Right. That's a sort of a theoretical or philosophical question underpinning this. Right. If you say, well, I didn't get that money, that could bring into play all kinds of crazy scenarios. Like, let's say your house in Montgomery, Alabama, you buy it for $250,000, and over the years it goes up and it's now worth $400,000. Well, under current tax rules, you don't pay any capital gains on that difference between $250,000 and $400,000 until you actually sell it. And there's an exemption. You can actually roll that into another house. But apart from that, right, you go buy some Google stock tomorrow. That's not a taxable event. You just converted some cash for some stock. And then someday when you sell it, if it went up, you pay capital gains. If it went down, you get a capital loss. But nothing happens until you actually sell it, because that's when you, in tax terminology, realize the gain or loss. But what if we could just tax you anyway? What if we could tax you when your Google stock goes up or the value of your house goes up without you selling it, without you having to realize it? What if we could just sort of tax you on your net worth on an annual basis, and you had to fill out some forms and send it in? Now, that's the broader issue. The specifics in this particular Supreme Court case are much narrower than that. And the particular couple who end up having their case taken all the way to the Supreme Court, it's pretty complicated to explain the facts involved. They were limited partners and yada yada. But the principles that are involved here, this idea of taxing unrealized income, is just unbelievably far-reaching, and we should all be fearful of it because it's a crazy idea.
Now, do we get to play the other side and we have unrealized losses?
No, I don't think that's on the table, Eddie. I think this is a gain scenario. You're so greedy.
I just figured if they're taking theirs, if they're going to say, hey, Eddie, it looks like you got some potential to make a profit here, we're going to go ahead and tax you on that. Okay, well, it looks like on this side I'm fixed to take a huge loss. You going to help me out with that? Don't know you.
It's the arguments were heard, but we're not going to get a decision on the Supreme Court. They're going to go into recess. They heard a lot of arguments. We're not going to get a decision until next year.
Well, but that's a huge deal, because I guess you see something kind of like that with the property tax game, where they can appraise your home for a certain value and thus you owe even more than maybe you thought. But that's usually at the local level.
Yeah, and you can challenge that too. So there are right.
But it's one thing for the local level to have a property tax. It's another thing for the feds to say, "Oh, look at your entire asset portfolio,
Joey, you got
and
potential.
it went up." Yeah,
we're gonna start taxing you a little bit higher just for your potential.
I've had a capital gains hit once with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
one crazy.
Well, but property taxes are literally a net worth tax. Okay. So when they come and adjust the value of your house based on comps in the neighborhood, they're saying, listen, we apply an annual worth tax to your house in the form of property tax. So your house is worth more. So that's different than an income tax. Capital gains is a form of an income tax, right? So you have to think of property taxes separately. Here we're saying, even though you didn't have any income, we're still going to tax you.
Well, and so it comes down to the language, I forget what number amendment, that allowed the federal government to tax income. Before it was just 16th Amendment. So it comes down to the definition of income is what's being argued, essentially.
Yes.
Why don't we just repeal it before they expand the definition of income?
If the Supreme Court decides that the U.S. federal government, as a constitutional matter, cannot ever tax unrealized income, I think that'll be huge.
It would be.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it indeed. But we got to hit another quick break here. I think we'll have Michael Cohen on the phone here after this quick break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you, whether you're buying a home for the first time or maybe it's not your first rodeo and it could be last time you bought a home, it wasn't fun.
Right.
Let's just say there were surprises on closing day. You actually weren't given certain advice or recommendations that you've later found out were available to you. That ain't going to happen with Alabama Home Mortgage. They pride themselves on sitting down and getting to know you, getting to know why you're buying a home, what's your strategy here. And they also have things that a lot of other lenders don't, like they're VA home loan certified. So if you're a veteran,
specialist in VA home loans, yes.
Yeah, and you have not taken advantage of these benefits you earn through your service, they can help you there at
Certainly
Alabama
can.
Home Mortgage. And it's not just in buying a home. It's also, right now, all the rage are these refinance deals. I think, what did Madeline from Alabama Home Mortgage tell us the other day? APR average is 29%?
Yeah, and with most people having a balance of $7,900 to $8,900 on your credit card balance. That's not good, Joey.
Right.
That's not good.
Why not? A lot of folks are thinking about a refinance deal for that, or it could be any sort of cash flow issue.
Sure.
And of course, you get to skip a payment once you go through a refinance. And again, if you're a veteran, this is the best game in town. You
For
should
sure.
Take advantage of it. So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can also visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon after this break.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back, folks. Hold on. Give me a minute. 1 second, everybody. Having to help a brother out.
When the
there.
boss comes in and asks for something, you better have it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Good call, Joey.
And if Rick's listening, he's like, I didn't walk in there. Let's go to the phone to talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Doing very well. Now, let's remind folks, since it is the holiday season, do you have any particular specials, sales, anything going on right now there at Cohen?
Well, I mean, we've got some great deals on the Furrion outdoor television. These TVs are engineered to be outside. I've got some 55s. I've got some 43s. I've got a 65. Anyway, those would be at a great deal. We've also got some other speakers made by Clips, by Golden Ear, that we've got marked down as well. There's we've got the Nest doorbell, that unit for $79.
Ooh, that's
cash
a good
and
price.
carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good price.
And most people can hook it up themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case, if you can't, they even make some additional chimes that you can put inside your home so that it can ring to the chimes instead of having to go through the doorbell that was installed in your home 25 years ago.
Good idea.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of workarounds that allow it to be an easier install for the average person. But then we also have all the great Sony stuff. We have Speed Queen. We have some of the Samsung televisions. So, just this morning I had a call from a lady. Her name is Jessica. She had bought a washer and dryer from us 22 years ago, and the dryer needed replacing. So she replaced it with a Speed Queen, and she says she always gets great service from Cohen's, but she called to let me know that between the salesperson, between the two delivery guys, everything was just off the chart as far as being great.
Excellent.
And she just wanted to let us know, that they cleaned behind it when they moved out the old one. And that's the kind of stuff that makes us proud, because as much as everybody wants to give us credit for it, it's really all of our people that are what makes the difference.
Yep.
Amen.
And it's as cliche as it can be, but it's true. My delivery people, which have to work in the bitter cold or the hellish hot in the summertime, those are the last people that touch the sale. And they got to be on their A game, just like we have to be in the store, because we're not going to sell it, or they can, at any portion we can mess it up. But we're fortunate that we do have a great crew that do the deliveries, and they're doing a great job out there.
That's why they say there at Cohen's. I'm looking at it right now on the website. We deliver confidence, and it's a great example of that, folks. So people can always go to thinkcohens.com or give you all a call at 277-8890. But I really encourage folks to stop by the showroom there at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Y'all are open 9 to 6 today.
9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays, and there's no high pressure here. Everybody is easygoing. We want to make sure that you get the right product. As I've told people before, after Christmas we don't have a long line or any line for exchanges, because we tried to do it right on the beginning.
Exactly.
And we want everybody to get what they need and be happy.
Well, I appreciate your time, as always, your sponsorship as well. And we're becoming friends, right, Michael? Is that true?
Yes. We're buds. Is this where you ask me for something for
It's
free?
coming. It's coming, Michael.
I would never do that, sir.
I'm kind of puckered up right now.
Well, good to hear from you, Michael. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right. Thank y'all.
See you, bud.
More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Inflation dipped last month, with cheaper gas helping further lighten the weight of price increases in the United States. Still, the latest data on consumer inflation show that prices in some areas, services such as rents, restaurants, and auto insurance, continue to rise uncomfortably fast. The Consumer Price Index rose just 0.1% from October to November. Harvard President Claudine Gay will remain leader of the prestigious Ivy League school following her comments last week on anti-Semitism at a congressional hearing. She came under intense scrutiny following the hearing, in which she and two of her peers struggled to answer questions about campus anti-Semitism. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 119 points, and the NASDAQ up 66. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Ridge Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Alabama's personal injury attorney, me, Johnny Adams of the Johnny Adams Law Firm. Stay weather alert, everyone.
Ridge Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures still below normal for the next few days, but not too bad for December. Cool again today with partial sunshine. Clouds will be increasing and the high temperature up to about 57. Mostly cloudy, chilly tonight, overnight low 34. Tomorrow and Thursday, highs near 60 both days, mostly sunny. Friday, a sun and cloud mix, high in the upper 50s. Some widely scattered showers possible after midnight Friday night and scattered showers on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
This past Monday, a judge determined that the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission can proceed with awarding more licenses to integrated facilities, despite a lawsuit that was filed by Alabama Always seeking an injunction against the AMCC. Alabama Always was seeking to stop the current system that the AMCC uses in ranking applicants before they determine who gets a license. Montgomery County Circuit Judge James Anderson denied the motion that was sought by Alabama Always for the injunction. They continue to appeal the voting procedures done by the AMCC. Alabama Always says the system allows for a few commission members to ensure a company can be blackballed in the ranking system so that they'll never be awarded a license. The AMCC defends its system, saying there's a difference between scoring, ranking, and voting. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A substitute teacher in DeKalb County is now being charged with sexual relations with a student. 30-year-old Kristen Ford was arrested last week after the relationship with the student under the age of 19 was uncovered and reported by school officials to the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office. The National Weather Service confirms that further tornadoes touched down in Alabama this past weekend, in addition to those that were confirmed in Jefferson County. The NWS says an EF0 tornado traveled through Henry and Barber counties with winds of 85 miles per hour. The tornado traveled about 8 miles on the ground. No injuries or deaths reported. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our number one goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I guess the theme of this hour, Eddie, is Mitt Romney is...
Yeah.
Mitt Romney's miserable.
Yes, he is.
It's a word I go to a lot these days.
Well,
but it's true.
Is he miserable because he just refuses to go away? Is he miserable just because he's Mitt Romney?
No, but because he is a so-called Republican that wants to side with established interest every time.
I thought we decided he was a rhino a while back.
See, but here's the deal. No, I think Mitt Romney, folks, and so many of these folks you call rhinos, they are Republicans. Stop being surprised when Republicans behave the way Republicans do.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Well, the example I would always give was Richard Shelby. People say, oh, that guy was a rhino.
Yep,
I'm like,
right.
wait, you mean the senator has been there for like a century, who's got his name on buildings everywhere, and who's been the elected Republican senator at least since 1994? That guy's not the Republican, but, Joe Bob, who's got an opinion, is the true Republican.
Right.
No, Joe Bob, you probably are right. I might like you better as senator, but you ain't the Republican senator for 20, 30 years.
Well, if you want to stay in the good graces of the party.
And that's my point. It's like Mitt Romney was the Republican nominee. Do y'all all remember how you were just excited to go vote for him because we got to stop Obama?
Not this guy.
You didn't?
No.
See, you didn't get caught up in it.
No, I went the other way.
I admit fully at that point, it was my first time on the radio during a presidential cycle. So I'm still a libertarian, but I was like, yeah, it's fun.
You got excited with Mitt?
Yeah, it was like, not really with Mitt. I remember watching that foreign policy debate, going, these guys have no differences. They're acting like they're huge differences.
Right, but there are none.
But here's what set me off about Romney today. He was brought on to meet the press and asked about this Biden impeachment inquiry. What do you think he had to say? He's all for impeaching Trump.
Right.
He's all for all sorts of just... Let's just listen.
Okay.
House Republicans have signaled that they may vote as early as this week on an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, despite the fact that they haven't shown yet a direct link between Hunter Biden's business dealings and President Biden. Have you seen any evidence that President Biden has committed high crimes and misdemeanors?
No, I don't see any evidence of that at all. I think before you begin an impeachment inquiry, you ought to have some evidence, some inclination that there's been wrongdoing, and so far there's nothing of that nature that's been provided.
So are you opposed to the impeachment inquiry?
Well, if I were in the House, I'd vote against it, unless they were able to bring forward evidence that suggests that there were a high crime or misdemeanor that had been committed. But so far, that hasn't been the case. Look. Fortunately, for most people, we're not responsible for the misdeeds of our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. Nothing in my family I'm embarrassed about. But President Biden's son, Hunter, is obviously been a very unsavory person and has had some extremely damaging personal foibles, including a drug habit and so forth. That's not President Biden, and we're not going to impeach someone because of the sins of their kids.
What an ass.
Yeah. First off, I can't believe people still think he's still relevant. He's one of those people that need to take his ball and go home. But for two, like you said, he's all about, let's go after the Trumpster, who's supposed to be, last time I checked, he was the Republican Party. And kind of brought him back, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go after Biden, who, let's see, we've got more people coming in this country illegally than we've ever had before. I mean, we even got it on video.
Well, no, Mitt's the type of guy who wouldn't believe Liberace was gay until he saw him in the act with another man.
I don't even know if he'd believe it then.
Yeah, he's probably just researching it, right? He's in prison. Well, we all live in a prison, right? God.
Yeah.
I want to go back in time and beat myself up. It's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Oh, my word. Yeah, Romney. What is hot dogs? Is his favorite meat?
That's my favorite meat. I like them in buns, outside of buns.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
And he's severely conservative. So was it severely conservative? Is that what he was?
Yeah,
severely something, but I don't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, we got like an admission on tape of Biden, you know, performing, you know, an act for the Ukraine government, you know, to withhold funds. What do you need? How much more do you need? But anyway, yeah, it's almost just not worth talking about. I mean, we know Mitt Romney. We know what he's about.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably, I mean, got good reason, actually, for not seeking the truth about Biden. He is probably one of those crowds. I mean, he made a ton of money in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
From what I understand. So, you know, yeah, it's self-preservation on that one. So, like, I just want to tell you, you know, I went to Montgomery Men's Health several weeks back, and I got to tell you, you know, they have just this is real medicine from a real doctor.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not the supplements or vitamins or whatever, you know, and it works. Now I told you, Joey, that I'm not going to give you any details. Even if you paid me, I'm not going to give you details.
I thought we were paying
even
you
if you
not
paid
to give
Mama
us the details.
D, even if you paid Mama D, she wouldn't get, well, actually, if you paid Mama D, she'd probably tell you everything you want to know.
I see.
So anyway, but yeah, it works, and I'm glad that I heard about it from you guys. So
I'm glad you're glad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel 100% better, honestly.
No, I can't see you right now, and I don't want the details, but it's almost like you're talking to me like you slept with a coat hanger in your mouth. You're like smiling ear to ear.
I'm telling you, man. By the way, you got a neat little retro '70s look going on there. Almost look like the long lost brother of the Bee Gees or something like that.
Oh,
like me wearing a hoodie and a hat?
The Bee Gees, man. The long hair, the beard.
Oh, okay.
The beard, definitely.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a hat.
Yeah.
And I'm dressed down today. So.
Okay. Anyway, so so this Supreme Court thing.
Yeah.
You know, I almost wish they would just go ahead and put the kibosh on it, because they know it's coming back to them. I mean, the whole thing is going to come right back to them, you know, after whatever this Judge Chukin or the other one, Gore, whatever his name, Judge Gilligan, as I call him.
Yeah.
All these, you know, it's all going to come back to the Supreme Court for Trump, for these Trump trials. And I got a feeling, though, that they're just going to let it keep on going. They're going to keep it on a slow simmer.
I think so.
And it really is a shame.
I think that's definitely what they're going to do.
What do you think, Joey? You got a perspective on it?
Not a deep one, or anything really to add. I think this will end up in the Supreme Court. And honestly, I don't know what heck of a difference it makes. In fact, Trump's numbers might go up if you put him behind bars.
They are going to go up if you put him behind bars. And I don't know. Honestly, I really wonder, has the Biden administration figured this out yet? I mean, everyone knows the deal. The more you're going after Trump, the more his numbers are going up. But they seem to keep doubling down on that. Oh, we'll get him this time. Okay, those numbers went up again.
I don't think they have a choice. I'll be honest with you. I think they have to do something, because if they do nothing, it's over with. So what else do they have left? They're going to try to go through this lawfare type of thing against him. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the fullness of time, as a man once said that I used to listen to.
Yes,
all right, guys. Well, listen, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, Papa B.
See you, Papa B. Now, do you think that his party will ever get tired of going after Trump and just
No, I think they enjoy it.
That's what their bread and butter's on.
Yeah.
How they can fundraise and things like that.
Yeah, in a way, Trump sort of energizes everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Seriously.
Oh, you're right.
Before we keep going here, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market for over 40 years, 4+ decades of experience. That means, well, you're working with folks that really know what they're doing when you're trying to buy or sell that property. Or if you want to rent out your home, they have management services available at the Goodson Group. It's a great idea, rental investment in this market, but being a landlord can be a pain in the butt to do it yourself. Why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group handle that for you? And then that 40+ years of experience really comes into play at the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed programs here in the state of Alabama because of, well, how many folks have gone on to great success, whether as licensed realtors or as more knowledgeable private players. You're going to learn it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Bo's been through it all. Very interactive course, and again, the results have been very good for folks who take the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. So check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. Oh, look, Coach Tuberville's in the national news again. Oh? Yeah, I think Manu Raju from CNN.
Oh.
No, that's the guy's name.
My bad. No offense.
I've
never heard that name before.
You got a problem against Indians?
No, by no means. Well, my best friend is Indian. We got a great little deal going on at the convenience store right now. Great partnership.
Anyway, Coach Tuberville, well, Manu Raju of CNN wanted to talk to him about the whole Ukraine vote, Zelensky being in town. Let's hear it and tune in and hear what Coach has to say.
Are you concerned that if there's no money, Ukraine could lose the war to Russia?
Well,
oh, come on.
A big possibility the whole time. I mean, I've never thought they could win to begin with, especially the way we eased into it.
What are the implications that if Russia wins? Are you worried about the implications if Russia wins?
Well, everybody keeps saying they're going to continue to go across Europe. I mean, they can't beat Ukraine on the eastern side. How are they going to continue to go the rest of the way through Europe? I've never believed that scenario. I think it's a good selling point to send more money.
So you're hearing the divide within the
No, I think that's just common sense from Tuberville there.
I thought it was a pretty good answer.
Yeah,
by the way,
pretty
what'd
straightforward.
you say his name was? Manu
Raju.
The Marlboro man there.
Yeah, he does have that deep.
Not what
Maybe
I expected.
he's got the flu that's going around or something.
Not what I expected, though.
But hey, let's go to Mike.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, man, I'm sorry to interrupt your momentum. How is Dan doing?
Honestly, I haven't had a recent update, but last we were texting, he seemed to be in good spirits, working,
Good.
hanging out with his kids.
Yeah.
I he was a wealth of knowledge,
Oh, yes.
as y'all are too. But anyway, I just miss old Dan.
Me too.
I hear you, Mike.
I hear you.
Yep. And y'all have a good evening.
Hey, you too.
272-9228. And it is odd now being in the time slot. I worked this time slot with Dan for 8 years, 9 years, and now running noon to 3. There are definitely days, folks, where I don't have the experience or necessarily the same type of mind that Dan Morse does, and you wish you had that guy there.
You didn't get to hang out with Reagan.
That too.
I mean, just the stories, not to go on here, but the stories that Dan used to tell me about Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
Were just great. I mean, just being the fly on the wall. That was some amazing stuff.
Now, in the midst of all the Biden impeachment inquiry and all the other stuff going back and forth, Trump's numbers continue to climb.
Yeah.
And it's, it's making a lot of people, I think, nervous.
Oh,
and it's
really,
also
Joey?
bringing out the conspiracy theorist on the right and the left of like, why are they actually playing this game? Does the left actually want Trump? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Right, they're daring you to do it because they want you to double dog dare them back.
The worst thing you could do, somebody like me, dare me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, they're looking forward to this game of double dare so they can slime Trump in the general with all the lawfare. Or could it be they thought they could knock him out early with the lawfare, and Trump's like, no, I'm the one who slimed you?
I think that's the latter is the case, but they're not going to give up, Joey. Not going to give up.
You're right, but let's tune into, this is Morning Joe.
Morning Joe.
But they go to Steve Kornacki. You know, the nerd, I can always get along with the nerds, you know what I mean?
Wonder how that is.
Because I am one.
Oh.
Why is that? You think that's an insult to me,
No.
big boy?
How is that an insult?
No,
a nerd, that's an acronym for something.
You didn't insult me. You're just
course not.
insulting everybody else.
Other nerds.
But let's listen in to see how Morning Joe is handling these brand new poll numbers that just came out about
Oh,
President
boy.
Trump and
I bet he ain't handling
President
them
Biden.
well.
Turn just for a moment to brand new polling out of Iowa on the Republican field for president. Joining us now from the big board, NBC News national political correspondent Steve Kornacki. Steve, what do the numbers show?
Yeah, we're basically almost exactly 35 days, almost I think a month until the Iowa caucuses. This what we're going to show you, our brand new NBC News Des Moines Register poll. The Des Moines Register poll is taken by Ann Selzer. She is known as one of the best in the business and certainly the authority when it comes to polling on Iowa. So let me show you these numbers. Republican side for the Iowa caucuses. We now have Donald Trump leading with an outright majority in Iowa, 51%. Ron DeSantis, a very distant second at 19. Nikki Haley, 16. Ramaswamy and Christie at 4. We last polled Iowa in October, also with the Des Moines Register. Since then, look at this, Donald Trump's lead. He has added 8 points to his total. DeSantis up a couple. Haley, who had been moving flat. I think it's significant because in the month leading up to this poll, you had Ron DeSantis pick up the endorsement of the governor of Iowa, the endorsement of a key evangelical leader in Iowa, got a lot of press attention for completing a 99-county tour of Iowa, had a Fox News debate against Gavin Newsom in front of millions of Republican-leaning voters, and was part of that fourth Republican debate last week that Donald Trump wasn't in. So for all those things that we thought might be giving DeSantis a boost over the last month, it is Trump. Despite not participating in the debates again, it's Trump who's made the big gains. Trump who's moved to 51% in this Iowa poll. Just a couple other numbers we can show you behind this. These are evangelical voters in Iowa. Remember, Donald Trump finished third with this group in 2016 when he ran in Iowa and lost. Now he leads it overwhelmingly, exact same number as what he gets overall. Evangelicals could make up 2 out of every 3 caucus goers in Iowa. That was the case the last time around. Where Trump really turns it on, though, it is first-time caucus goers. This tends to be a younger group overall. Look at that, 63% of folks who say for the first time they're going to go to a caucus are rallying behind Donald Trump. This is independents. Independents are a small share of the Iowa electorate, but I think it gets to the basic problem Nikki Haley has. Look how much better Nikki Haley does among independents. It's true in Iowa. It's true in New Hampshire. It is true in every poll we have seen.
So Republican light likes Nikki Haley.
I don't know if I can believe that, Joey, because they're just pushing her so hard to be the candidate.
Well, you got a woman problem?
No, not at all. I just have we have better people out there problem. And I don't think
Better people, you mean men?
In this particular race, yeah, because there's no other women running, but I don't think the people are buying into it. And they just keep pushing her. And I'm telling you, I haven't seen one single thing that tells me that she's the one for me.
So,
and I know the Home Depot guy got behind her, but
the long and short of it is Trump's up 8, DeSantis up 3, Nikki Haley stayed at flat at 16, Ramaswamy's up 1.
Yep.
I think, the Vivek campaign's claiming they're getting a lot of first-timers.
I think.
But, and they might actually do a
I really
lot.
do think they're getting
They
a
said
few.
their goal is to finish in the top 3 in Iowa. They've always been low there. And as much as Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, was praising, the only candidate that's done 99 counties is Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign said, no, we're doing 99 counties twice.
Oh, really?
We're going to live here for the next month or 2. So, we'll see how it shakes out. I think, again, not to sound like a broken record, the folks that would go with a Ramaswamy are already going with just Trump.
Yep.
Why not?
I think so.
Let's just go with the OG.
I mean, honestly, that's my thought. Me personally, Trump's my number 1, but if there is a number 2, it's Ramaswamy all day long. No one else is even close. But another thing about the numbers, 51% Trump, all the other ones combined still don't beat Trump.
Yeah, nowhere near.
Still don't beat him. I don't care how they ran the numbers. They kept coming up more short.
Let's let Kornacki finish here.
But in Iowa and in most of these Republican primary and caucus states, big exception being New Hampshire, independents are going to be outnumbered significantly by core Republicans. Haley has yet to show that she can make the inroads she needs with core Republicans. That is to say, Republicans who like Donald Trump. She's yet to show she can make those inroads to be competitive. Also, in terms of enthusiasm, we asked folks, are you extremely enthusiastic about your choice? Trump, look at that, 2-1, 3-1 advantage over his rivals. We asked folks, is your mind made up? 77 out of 10% of Trump voters in Iowa say their minds are made up. Again, more than double that of any of his nearest rivals. And then we asked this question here, a lot of words. This is about electability and Republicans' perception of it here. We talked so much in 2023 about Donald Trump's trials. We will continue to talk about it in 2024. But we asked folks, can Donald Trump win the election regardless of his legal challenges? Now, nearly 3 out of 4 Republicans in Iowa say yes. Last month, that number wasn't even 2 out of 3. Big jump there for Trump. We also said, hey, are Trump's legal challenges too much? They make it nearly impossible for him to win. 24% saying that. Again, that number was over 30 last month. So all sorts of signs in this poll, Mika, showing that Donald Trump over the last 6 weeks in Iowa has actually improved his position. And the last time we were this close to the caucuses, again, just about a month away, that a Republican candidate had a lead anywhere near this size, you got to go all the way back to George W. Bush. The year was 2000. Bush won the caucuses. Bush won the nomination.
There you go, folks.
Dude's a real nerd. You ever seen Jim Cramer? Isn't he on the same network? Because that dude is like
CNBC.
Yeah, and he's like Jim Cramer's protege.
I don't think that's fair to Mr. Kornacki.
Same action, same body work, same.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're underestimating how bad Jim Cramer is.
Oh, I hate the guy.
Yeah, no, don't put that on Kornacki.
I'm just telling you that his style, and I kept saying, man, he looks familiar. His style, the way he's clipboarding it, nerded it up for you, whiteboarding it, very Jim Cramer.
Okay.
So don't buy it.
Yeah, should we hit a break?
Yeah, I guess so.
But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Wonderful people there at Pest Pro.
I was in Millbrook earlier this morning. I seen them heading out. I believe 3 different trucks going 3 different directions.
Oh my!
Yeah,
they really have expanded that workforce there.
Oh heck yeah, man! To the point of we even know people that work there.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And they had to get a brand new location there on Main Street in Millbrook.
Doing some good expansion, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. It was cool during that grand opening of their new spot. How many people from around the community were there?
Just showed up to come by and say, hey.
The mayor, didn't he stop by?
Oh,
yeah.
you bet.
All sorts of folks were stopping by there. And it's because, well, Ashley and her team have not only put together an amazing business with great service, they can help you with any pest control problem, any at all, including up to preventing termites from damaging your home.
You need that here in Alabama.
You really do need that. Don't put that on the back burner. Of course, they can treat termites that have already hit your home, but it's better to do preventative work.
Yeah, get ahead of it.
So you don't have a very costly bill there repairing termite damage, which, by the way, your homeowner's insurance won't cover.
No, they won't.
But at Pest Pro, they can really do it all. Everyday pest control company. They can get you on a quarterly schedule, make sure you're jam up and jelly tight with your home. But they're also, again, great folks, always giving back to the community. And like we said, they're expanding for a reason.
Yes, they are.
Everybody loves them, some Pest Pro services. So give them a call today, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces.
There you go.
What do you want to know? Call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This holiday season is about more. Not more presents and shopping. More you. That's why at Montgomery Men's Health we're celebrating the season of connection. Connecting with your family, with true friendships, and with yourself. We are treating erectile dysfunction with the least invasive, most advanced treatment options. We've been the local support team helping men get that spark back in the bedroom, on the job, at the gym, and everywhere life takes you. To celebrate this season of connection, we're giving away free B12 at our Montgomery clinic with every office visit for those who medically qualify. Our commitment is to take care of men, because men who feel alive will change the world. Don't wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
Hey folks, remember the good old days when Christmas gifts had us playing outdoors? Well, these days, kids only ask for an electronic device that keeps them cooped up inside. So, parent or grandparent, take charge this Christmas and get the entire family enjoying the great outdoors with a Hammerhead go-kart by Polaris from CTE Outdoor Power. Now, everyone knows go-karts are fantastic family fun, and whether it's a small kids cart, a medium-sized youth model, or a large full performance machine for teens and adults, Hammerhead carts have the quality, safety, and performance you expect from Polaris. Don't have a place to hide a cart until Christmas? No problem. Whether you take advantage of our 0% interest financing, layaway, or purchase your Hammerhead cart, CTE will store the cart through December 23rd. So call, click, or come by today and reserve your Hammerhead at CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road, and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, owner of Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon. Are you looking for that perfect holiday gift? Get that special someone a gift certificate to use on the services they love. Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon, the only salon, med spa, and day spa located in the heart of downtown Prattville.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. So, you've been drinking a lot of Bud Light lately, Eddie?
No.
No?
I had some the other night, but no, I'm still a Busch Light guy.
But Busch Light is part of the larger
Anheuser-Busch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we were just looking at this.
But they didn't hire no.
Huh?
They didn't. It wasn't an Anheuser-Busch bottle that was made, Joey, and given to Mulvaney or whatever his name is. Don't try to draw the two together. Busch Light's very different. They're under the same umbrella of companies, but very different brand.
Maybe you should reconsider your boycott of Bud Light.
I'm not boycotting it. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But, Tucker Carlson's now got a brand new subscription service. I think it's tuckercarlson.com.
Yeah.
And the first big interview, they put a part of it out on the X platform. Then you can go watch the rest if you subscribe. But it's Dana White of UFC.
Yeah, I've been watching several interviews with Dana White here lately. He's got my attention again.
Right. And so at one point, they get into the whole Bud Light thing because Bud Light has now become a sponsor of the UFC.
Correct.
So let's listen in to the CEO of UFC, Dana White.
Let me tell you what, if you consider yourself a patriot, right? You're a patriot, you should be drinking gallons of Bud Light. Believe me when I tell you.
Wait. I should be boycotting Bud Light.
Gallons of Bud Light. You should have Bud Light drums stacked up in your garage and drinking it right out of the keg. They are way more aligned with you than most of these other beer companies are. That I guarantee you. Take it from somebody who's in the know, who does business with beer companies. You are way more aligned with Bud Light than you are with any other beer company.
I mean, they didn't come into partnership with you by accident.
No.
Obviously.
We had multiple bidders on the table.
Did they seek you out?
We had multiple bidders on the table. They were one of them. And as history has shown me with relationships that I've had with other beer companies, I, who lean more this way, I, who consider myself a patriot, I don't go crazy over the whole patriot thing, but I consider myself a proud American. I'm happy to be an American. I love this country. And you are way more aligned with Anheuser-Busch than you are with other beer companies.
Do you buy it, Eddie?
I don't want to say he's a liar, but honestly, though, when it comes to all that, I'm just drinking beer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't overthink.
Right. But
I wasn't drinking Busch or Bud Light or any of that before anyhow.
And I still forget to this day. I mean, I'm so used to just muscle memory in my head when I go to a bar, I get Bud Light.
Yeah, because it's cheap and it's not that high
But
volume.
it's so funny now. I always get a double take. I always get a double take now. Maybe I look like the guy that doesn't drink Bud Light anymore or something, but I always get a double take. And sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I take that opportunity to change my order. Like maybe this person's telling me something I need to know.
Well, what year was it that you reached bear status?
Bear? What do you mean?
Well, like you got bigger.
Oh, 30s.
Well, good to see you're on top of things now.
No,
Hey, Sam.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome, Sam. We enjoy getting to the bottom of the facts here of the show.
All right, well, here you go. I was looking around my YouTube videos. This is last night, and I caught part of the interview with Kid Rock and Tucker, as much as I could stand of it. And here's the deal: Kid Rock, he believes that Bud Light has paid their dues. Okay,
Right.
it's time for all this to be over. They paid the price for their commie ways, and they had a good time talking about it. But yeah, man, so Kid Rock has declared it over. So I'm just sharing it with you and the audience. So, Walmart right now, I was in there yesterday, they've got nice Budweiser and Bud Light bucket, little gift bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's merchandise is available. That's all I can say.
Yep.
That's all I got, man. No, I saw that. Kid Rock, he was, they paid the price, man.
I think with Kid Rock, he started getting some pushback on that pretty much after he did the whole destroying of the Budweiser, and then like a week later he caught at a game just pounding them.
Drinking
them. Yeah.
All right, but no, he made it clear. People, he said, it's almost like a running joke. I'm a friend. They'll bring over a 12-pack of Bud Light. I said, I got it everywhere. And he said, I'll drink anything. I'll drink any beer that's free and cold. Now that I understand.
I get that.
Yeah, okay.
And honestly, that'd be a good thing. I wish I had friends that would try to trick me by bringing me beer to my house.
That's exactly right.
Those are good friends right there.
I thought you said it was a party and it's just you. What do you want?
It's the party now, baby.
A little drinking, a little fighting, a little loving.
That's right. It's a Tuesday night in
Hey,
Texas.
anyways, y'all sound good, gentlemen. But I heard that, and I was like, I saw that last night. All right, that's all I got.
All right, see you, Sammy.
Appreciate it, Sammy.
I don't know if you saw the interview with Dana White and now I'm having a brain fart. Can't think of his name. The guy we saw here in town, young guy from Louisiana.
Theo Vaughn.
Thank you. Where Theo said he did an interview with Kennedy. And
RFK Jr.
Yeah. When he was getting ready to do the interview, of course, his sponsors knew. Well, Peloton was one of his sponsors. So after the interview, Peloton contacted his people and said, don't let that interview out. Said, do not let it out. And so Theo Vaughn and his team thought about it, and of course, they ended up letting it out. Well, he shared that story with Dana during a podcast. Dana, right then at that moment, right then, called his gym, asked those guys live on the air, do we got any Pelotons in there? They're like, what? He's like, do we got any Peloton bicycles in there? They said, yeah. He said, throw them all out on the curb right now. And they did.
Wow.
They did. I found a newfound respect for Dana White. And he said that happens to him often. where advertisers come to him and say, "Oh, you going to do that? Well, we're going to pull our ad." And he tells them, and that was kind of after that.
He tells them GF what?
Right. It was after that Elon Musk moment.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to see that, because that's the wave that we need to have. It's fine if you want to advertise on anything we do, sure, but you can't dictate what we're going to talk about. That's just not allowable. Just because you're an advertiser. And no offense, but you're an advertiser. There's 100 more of them out there. But it was
It's one thing to call somebody too and be like, "Yeah, what y'all are doing here? I don't."
Yeah, I disagree with.
Yeah, and like,
Sure, that's
we're wondering,
normal.
is this good for our? Like, you could put it in different terms other than what clearly is just attempts to strong arm people.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
And it's
So-
not even over stuff that's like, it's like the latest social fashion, and moral trends. So
But
to
with
speak.
RFK Jr., are you kidding me? Throw that interview out? What is...
What? Oh, you're worried he's going to talk about falconeering too much? That's
I
the
mean,
first Theo Vaughn interview with
I
him.
could not figure that out. What has RFK Jr. done to tick these people off? Is it just the fact that he's running?
Yeah, it's the fact that he's questioning certain truths that just are getting way too popular.
Yeah, but I love the fact that when an advertiser tries to put the squeeze on somebody, like Dana White, you call them out and you throw their crap out in the street right then. And then he openly mocked the Peloton CEO. They put his picture up, and boy, they just had a good time with him for a few minutes.
Well, I did not see that. So I'm
I'll
glad
send you the
brought it to
clip.
my
It's
attention.
great.
Well,
it is great, because you see Theo. He's kind of talking about it, but he's kind of holding back a little bit. And when Dana picks up what he's laying down and jumps on it, then Theo gets excited. Yeah, he's my man.
Now, did you see this other story that apparently Vivek left his? There, people are claiming that Vivek left his mic on while he was going to the bathroom while on the big X platform Spaces that had Elon Musk, had the Tate brothers on there,
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, like who else was on there? Vivek. And a few other big names. I'm just losing some of them. But like, it was a high profile conversation.
Okay.
And there was a certain moment where to me, it sounded like somebody had turned on a faucet, or like it was raining outside or something. It sounded like more a rush of water that was ambient in an entire room. But at the, as that sound's going on, they're trying to talk. And, you hear Alex Jones say, "Oh, somebody's peeing on this thing. Whose mic is still on peeing like that?"
They had all these other people in there, but Alex Jones is the guy. He gets the
Right.
attention.
And actually, I think I've got the clip here. I'll let y'all decide. And Vivek, I don't know what's true, but Vivek kind of runs with it in stride. But here, let's back this up so you get the full effect. Yeah, at this moment, it's Mario, whoever, Jack Posobiec, a few others there on the stream, including Vivek and Alex Jones. So let's listen into this together, he said.
Are people that want a corporate world government whose aim is depopulation and not giving the general public access to technology by lying about resources and literally saying carbon dioxide that plants breathe is evil, and then telling us the world's going to end in 2030 and the ice caps are all going to melt, and none of that's true. So our children basically give up on the future and decide not to have children. That's all I'm saying. Elon
Now, what does that sound?
That's water faucet.
Yeah, but listen.
Musk is promoting an optimistic, pro-human future that the science and evidence shows is real and that we need.
Gentlemen, I have to go.
I just want to be sort of exactly. I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans. Humans in America, humans in
Somebody's
Africa,
got their thing
Asia,
open, and
everywhere
somebody's
else.
got their phone open in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's Vivek.
Sounds like-
Vivek, that's your phone, Vivek. I'm not able to mute you. Vivek.
Sounds like
Perfect. Go ahead, Elon.
Sorry about that.
So, well, I hope you feel better.
I feel great. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
It sounded like a water faucet to me, but that's still freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I hope he feels better.
Well, and apparently Jesse Waters asked Vivek that last night, and they do call it a live stream for a reason, Jesse. So he's just having fun with it.
He listened kind of hard. It sounds like he's got some flow problems, so I hope that was the sync. Maybe he was in public. People have that issue.
No, but it is a weird day and age when some of the biggest people with millions of followers all jump into the same.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're hearing their voices compete with one another. There's Elon, there's Alex Jones.
Oh, the Alex Jones, though, was the best.
Is that Andrew Tate talking to it? Like, what the heck is going on here? So,
Hey, somebody's peeing.
somebody's got their thing on, they're peeing.
Alex Jones.
Man, how about this? Let's hit another break.
Right.
But first, this part of the program brought to you by, well, Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings.
They have got Christmas covered at Dillon Rings.
Oh, my goodness, do they?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that last Facebook post I seen a while ago with the Christmas ornaments.
But 30 to 50% off?
Yeah, and had the beautiful pendants on there. That's a great way. I might steal this from them, but that's a great way to present your gift to your wife or your loved one. Put it on the tree on that ornament. Let them find it. Let them think the old Santa Claus factor kicked in. I think that's great, man.
Or if your wife is completely oblivious, just give it to her directly. But I like Eddie's idea, too.
Yeah, or you can let her, she could think for about a half hour. This guy didn't get me nothing.
Right, yeah, let her stew. I knew I should have called that attorney.
Exactly.
Yeah, let her stew a little bit, Joe. Not too long.
No, not too long. Don't ruin Christmas.
Here's the deal. You can get an amazing piece of jewelry for Christmas, for a great Christmas gift idea there at Dillon Rings. 30 to 50% off a lot of the items now still available. I believe they still have some of those rings for men.
Yes, they do.
But also plenty of things for the ladies. And, of course, there at Dillon Rings, they do it all. It's not just that amazing selection, including those items on sale. They also can, repair jewelry.
That's right, Joey. Full service, right?
They can, reset stones. They can do cleanings for you. Even custom design.
That's right. You even said string pearls, right?
Right. They do it all there at Dillon Rings. So check them out today. You can always go to DillonRings.com or give them a call at 215-3669. But if you want to kind of window shop from home, I suggest go on their Facebook page or their Instagram page. Just search Dillon Rings on those platforms. Or the best way, the optimal way, is to go to 119 Brown Springs Road.
Go see them in person.
Go see Josh and Leslie in person. Go see that amazing selection in person. And you never know, you might be able to find the coolest Christmas gift ever there at Dillon Rings. Something the wife would go like, well, I'm glad I didn't call that attorney. He really loves me.
Good idea, Joe.
And be sure to tell him that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon, well, we sent you. More News and Views. Final break, Brave Bulls. You know the drill. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures still below normal for the next few days, but not too bad for December. Cool again today with partial sunshine. Clouds will be increasing and the high temperature up to about 57. Mostly cloudy, chilly tonight, overnight low 34. Tomorrow and Thursday, highs near 60 both days, mostly sunny. Friday, a sun and cloud mix, high in the upper 50s. Some widely scattered showers possible after midnight Friday night and scattered showers on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Hunting season is here. It's time for you to get on over to Prattville Farm Center. Here's Randy to tell you all that he's got on the shelf for you to buy.
We got some good deals. We have seed mixes from WMS, Pennington, Kelly Seed. We have every kind of seed you could possibly want. So y'all come on down here and we'll get them green fields planted. By the way, if you need sprayer parts for your equipment, we got that too. Come on down. 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville, 365-5400, 365-5400.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
To News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Collette. Eddie Bader still in the studio with me.
I'm here.
And we got Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet on the line. Hey, Ray.
Man, how y'all doing?
Doing good, Ray. How you doing, buddy?
Well, his phone's acting up a little bit. Besides that, it's good.
That's good to hear.
I need to go to that DJGI repair place y'all always talk about.
XI Repair, you go by there, you will not be disappointed, Ray. I promise you.
No, they fixed my drum right up and sold that go for the next week.
Smart move. Smart move.
Look, I was flying a sailor's drone and the wing came off, the propeller.
Mm-hmm.
And she hardly ever flew the darn thing anyway. And I said, honey, I'll take and get it fixed. And I did. I just didn't tell I was selling it as soon as I got it fixed.
Those are dad moves.
And she's never even asked me about the thing.
Exactly.
So I just pocketed the money and went on.
Exactly.
Those are the best gifts when you can. It's sort of like cheerleading. Life lesson for any dad out there that their girls are 8 years old and they want to get cheerleaders, buy them a horse.
Is the horse cheaper?
So much cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you can turn around 2 years from now when they lose interest, sell it and get all your money back.
What about cheerleading?
I did it with Morgan. Oh, it was like death to my eardrums.
No great rate on the return?
What I did do for Morgan, when she went into the Army,
yeah.
Believe it or not, the going through basic is cheerleading camp.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
She aced. I mean, it was just counting 1 through 8 over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hit the high marks because she could shoot a gun really well.
Wonder where she got that from.
Yeah, that's the redneck side of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my girls, I taught them how to ride motorcycles and shoot shotguns. Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Wise.
And snow ski. Because you just don't know when a boy's going to put them on the back of a motorcycle. I want to know what to do if it happens to them.
I got you. Smart. That's smart parenting, Ray.
Yeah, because sooner or later, the girls don't listen to you. Some idiot drives up on a motorcycle, that's the one they're going to go for.
Yep, you know that.
Yeah. Parenting tips from Ray Bowles. But if you need a floor, call us, 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a new floor. Just that simple.
Again, that number for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. That's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them that you heard Ray Bowles on the radio here with Joey and Eddie, giving great parenting advice.
He is.
And Mark is too excited about y'all picking him up for dinner.
Yeah.
At Bonhauer's.
Man.
His dad came in talking about it.
Is that right? Good deal. I'm super excited to have him there.
Yep, he's looking forward to it. Appreciate y'all doing that for him.
Hey, no problem, man.
All right, guys, have a great day.
You take care, Ray. See you, brother.
Getting Ray Bowles of Prattville carpet. And yeah, there's a big thing going on at the Baumhauers.
Tomorrow night be the Christmas party, right?
The what party?
Christmas.
Are you okay?
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
Are you
Moms
having a
is
stroke
cooking up.
right now?
No, you never heard good music apparently.
Hey, one guy up there in the Senate, at least he gets it.
Who that?
Play the clip and see if you know who it is.
To simply borrow more money. To borrow the money from China.
Who is it?
Mr. Paul.
Yeah.
But I love that opening line. I mean, that's
just simply here. I'll back it up to the beginning here. Let's listen in.
But it's irresponsible to simply borrow more money. To borrow the money from China, simply to send it to Ukraine makes no sense. It makes us weaker, not stronger. But let's be honest. Most of Congress doesn't seem to care about the debt, doesn't seem to care how much money we shovel out the door and out of the country. Why? Because it's not their money. Every day, Milton Friedman's statement is proven correct, that nobody spends somebody else's money as wisely as their own. I doubt the big spenders in Congress will ever consider spending any of their own money, but Americans across the land should sit up and notice and attach blame to these profligate spenders.
Yeah, he actually gets it.
That's a good point, too. I would like to see the donation of our congressman.
Well,
not from their pocket, not from their different funds, not from different ways that they've been given our money, from their pocket, from their checkbook. So I got a feeling most of them are kind of on the stingy side of life.
Possibly. That's very possible. Now, on this issue, I know, well, for instance, Jerry Carl and Barry Moore are caught up in a pretty heated race against one another, and they're both against more funding to Ukraine.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm not certain about Gary Palmer. I would suspect that Dale Strong and Mike Rogers are for it. Again, and then Tuberville seems very much against it. I'm not sure about Senator Britt, though.
Maybe you could send her a message.
Maybe.
Fire off a tweet.
Fire off a tweet?
That what you young kids
It's
do?
called a post now.
What?
Getting into the
I just
future.
learned the tweet thing. Are you
It's
kidding?
now called a post.
Y'all got like a crash course a guy can take or something?
No, you just got to figure it out like a man.
I'm out. I got the man part, but I ain't got time to figure this crap out.
Hey, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Vidal. He's next.